Greetings, folks. Good morning and welcome to, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever the hell you are. Welcome to episode number 14 of Live Streams with Famous Friends. I am your host, Jason McNamara, and sitting over here, as always, as I always introduce him, is my wonderful dear friend, Mr. David Birch in New Zealand.
Kia ora. How we going, everybody? Good
How
to
are you,
see
Dave?
you all. I'm really well, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, and it's interesting, our guest that we have today. Something went wrong with their uniforms. We're going to get a story on this because they're in really weird alien clothing for themselves today. It's a bit strange.
Bloody hell. Mummy didn't come in and grab their washing, did she?
Well, I think that's exactly what happened. I think Mum just came in at the wrong time and picked up their washing and took it away for them. And now they're just sitting there in these clothes that I don't even think they know what the hell they're doing in these clothes. It's weird. I saw them pulling on their shirts and stuff and trying to make them like sort of stretch into position because they were too loose for them. They weren't really tight enough. Poor guys.
Man, I don't know.
What do you do?
I don't know. I don't know what you do. But you know, let's talk about who we've got on board then today.
Well, so today's guests are an interesting outfit. They are a Van Halen tribute show with a difference. They're a pack of nerds. I mean, nerds, really? On this show, we've had like rock stars, like big name rock stars, and today we're dealing with nerds. I mean, really, come on.
Well, you know, got to deal with someone.
Oh, it's unbelievable. So, look, for those of you out there who want to know what the hell I'm dribbling on about, if you don't already know, here's who we have on the show today. Please welcome, folks, although their lead singer has apparently lost his way getting into the room today. I don't know, he'll be here shortly, but the lead singer can't even find the place to be able to be for the live stream. What the hell's going on? What are these nerds? I don't know. Please welcome the mighty, the powerful, the crazy, the insane, the nerdy, Nerd Halen!
Whoa!
Oh, I sound good.
Hi, everybody.
I'll be the first time.
Welcome, guys.
There you go. Good morning, nerd gentlemen. How are we all?
We're good. I just got a text from Hal. I believe his mom is just, she can't get directions to get him to his computer. So his mom's going to drop him off soon. So
that's good. That'll be nice when he can make it here. Yeah, so, guys, what happened to your clothes?
Homeschooled because we can't be in school and it's very disturbing. So we're homeschooled and our mom teaches everything.
There we go.
Victor's mom is awesome. Yes.
So I have a nanny.
So many wrong things going through my mind right now.
You and me both. I'm thinking of all the saucy angles that we could go down here. So, welcome to the show, Nerd Halen. This is it's going to be a bit of fun. Somebody's got playback going on there. I can see a guilty look on Jeff's face.
I'm trying to do I'm trying to share it and do the watch party.
Yeah, I was going to ask, did you guys get your watch parties going?
Yeah, I can't see it. I'm a nerd, but I'm so technically not savvy. It's ridiculous.
So look, let's quickly run through this. And anybody in the audience who wants to share this with their friends, I'll tell you the same thing. If you are watching this on Facebook, and you've got your screen up on Facebook, you can see over on the right-hand side, kind of towards the middle, there is a button that says share. And the fourth option down, so it should be share in a group, share to a page, or start a watch party. Hit a watch party, and then all your friends will get a notification, and hopefully they'll come along and watch the show and have a bit of a riot and talk about Van Halen and talk about all things nerd-like, and we can have a bit of fun here. I can see that Jeff's joined my watch party, my nerd party. You like that?
Nerd party.
Oh, man.
I trademarked that.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yes, indeed. I'm going to start a watch party myself too. So here we go. I can see that Victor has shared his watch party. He's got that going. I've got to put it in the description here. So let's just get as many eyes on this as we can, because if you're watching this, it's because you love Nerd Halen and you want to share the message out there too. So please share a watch party. That's so let's get going, because Hal will be here. God knows when he gets here, it'll be like a freaking tornado has just run through the place. So let's get through some stuff where we're going.
Like all vocalists, mate, they have no idea when to come in.
Yeah, but Hal, when he arrives,
Let's get our whatever we're going to say in first.
Yeah, right. Exactly right.
So look, how did this whole project come about?
I guess I'll start. Well, I got a good story. And this is the story I tell. I'll try to keep it short. I used to drive Lyft here in Southern California, and it's like Uber.
Yep.
There's a company called Lyft, and one night I picked up Taylor Hawkins in my car.
Wow.
Yeah, the drummer for the Foo Fighters, and I took him and his wife home from West Hollywood to where he lives, about 30-minute drive, and we started talking and blah blah blah, and I told him I knew my best friend was a drummer in a band called Tonic, and if you remembered that band, and he did, and we got to talking, and he asked what that guy was doing, and I said, well, he's doing construction, but he's playing drums in my cover band, and I had a little cover band at the time. This is like 3 years ago, and he said, you have a cover band? So do I, Chevy Metal. And I said, wow, cool. And he goes, yeah, we're looking for a guitar player. And I go, I'll do it. And he said, I shit you not. He said, can you play Van Halen? And I guess people who know me, and that's all I do. So I told him I did, and then I showed him some videos when we got to his house. And he basically hired me on the spot. And took my number, told me to expect a phone call, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, they'd just gotten another guy, and apparently they were happy with him. And so my moment didn't happen, but I spent the next 6 or 7 months learning every song that they played in all their sets from their YouTube show, postings. And I became, 20 times the guitar player I was when I picked him up that night. And then I finally, and he never called, but I kind of got through different channels, tried to remind him that I was that guy. Finally, I stalked them enough to find them at a sound check and talk to Taylor in a parking lot. And he said, look, man, I'm sorry. We're really happy with the guy we have. But he looked at me and said, how about you start your own thing and I'll come jam with you. And I was devastated. It felt like I've been, turned down by the hot chick, and
it's not me, it's you.
Yeah, no, because I literally thought about this call coming every day for 7-8 months. I just thought the call was coming, and it never did. But when he said that, I was devastated. I remember driving home, and halfway home, I already had the idea for Nerd Halen, and I said, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And from that moment, and that was in probably January, February of 2018 that happened. And it took me till August to meet Victor at the Ultimate Jam Night at the Whiskey A Go-Go. And that's a whole other story how I got involved with that. I got to thank Forest McKinnon, who's the co-host of the show, and a drummer. And it was my original drummer in the band, but he's also this skater.
So Forrest was the drummer for Tonic?
No. Forrest was a guy.
I know who Forrest is, but I didn't realize he was in I thought he was in Tonic from the story.
No, the drummer is Kevin Shepard from Tonic, but Forrest I met at the Ultimate Jam because I was told by someone if I wanted to find my players for the band, I would have to go get in a few jam Hollywood. There's the Lucky Strike, there's the Viper Room, and then there's Ultimate Jam Night at the Whiskey. And he said, just infiltrate. He said, infiltrate these jams. You'll find your band there. And turns out it was right. I found Forrest, and I just looked at his Instagram one day and saw he was like the biggest Van Halen head, like bigger than me, which is impossible. And I asked him if he was interested, and he didn't even hesitate. We started playing, and then he got me into the jam to play the first time. It's all because of him that I was able to play at the jam, and there's a video of that actually on my page. It's the dancing in the streets. But
I saw that a couple of days ago, actually.
Yeah,
I saw that too.
He shot that, and so one night I'm at the jam right around that time, and this female singer Megan Rue plays does a Guns N' Roses song, and she actually was backstage like looking for someone to shoot it for her Facebook Live, and I said I'll do it because I wasn't even playing that night, but I was hanging out, and I went and I took her phone and I filmed their performance, and she had a bass player, and it was Victor, and I saw Victor playing, and I saw it right away. And this is my favorite, like the favorite part of the whole story is after that, they came, they come upstairs to the backstage, and I go up to Victor and I said, I'm starting a Van Halen tribute band, and it's called Nerd Halen. And I was wondering if you were interested. And he paused and he looked at me and he goes, wait, let me get this straight. So you're playing Van Halen songs, but you're dressed as nerds? And I said, yes. And he goes, I'll do it. And and it was like, I didn't know Victor's bio or resume. I looked at it afterwards, and I couldn't believe when I went home and looked him up, all the things he'd done. I mean, he's won a Grammy. He's worked with Richard Marx and Mitch Malloy. And anyway, tons of artists, Leanne Rimes. And I was just so jazzed that he agreed to do this based on just a pitch, which was, we're nerds, we play Van Halen. There was no band. I just had Forrest that we were jamming with. A couple months later, Forrest books an ice show in Europe for 7 months and tells me he's got to leave. And I said, well, if you can find me your replacement, that's the only way I could get you your gig back when you get back, because you're going to have to tell the guy he's going to be in for this long and then he has to leave. And he gave me Jeff's number, and I called Jeff. And it was another funny part, like Jeff says, look, I love the band so much, I don't even want to rehearse because I don't want to get tired of playing the music. he said, I'll never forget. He goes, give me $100, I'll show up anywhere and play.
I'm not a whore, but
but yeah,
but I'm a whore,
so,
right?
So I got Jeff.
Yeah, the whole thing was that I was already playing in one Van Halen tribute band, and then I was kind of subbing with another one, and I had a chance. I could have possibly joined them, but I decided I didn't want to because it was like I love the band too much to play it all the time, because I'm in like 7 different bands, and every other band I'm in, it just gives me all this variety. I'm in an original band. I'm in a TV theme song tribute band. I'm in, Motley Crue tribute band. I'm in all these different bands, and I just couldn't drop them all and just start playing Van Halen all the time, even though I love them to death. I couldn't do it. Right. And I told Caleb, I said, I'll do it, but let's see where it goes. So
can you explain to me a TV themed tribute band? What the hell?
It's called The Remotes. Shout out to The Remotes.
The Remotes. Fantastic.
We do nothing but TV theme songs, and we're LA's only TV theme song.
It's like an orchestra. 30-second songs.
Yeah.
It's awesome. There's 11 people on stage, and they do like 30-second songs, and they sound exactly like the theme song from that show. It's remarkable. And they play the video of the intro to the show in the background, so you see the intro to the show while they're playing the theme to it.
Fantastic. Man, that would be, especially the Brady Bunch would be just such a special one to see. I think that'd be awesome.
And that's their main ad.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's our favorite one. You got to go on Instagram and check out we do a James Brown version of the Brady Bunch. It's so brilliant.
You know what? I'm going to bring it up here on the screen now so everybody can see this. This is too funny. I've definitely got to find this.
All right. The remotes will be on Jason's show next week. I'm just kidding.
We'd love to be on there. That'd be fun.
Caleb, when you're giving the story about your pitch in the hallway at the Whiskey A Go Go, the one thing you forget is, I think I asked immediately, who's the singer? Because
Okay.
you know, if you book a band, the front man is what gets you booked.
We didn't have one. And we
You didn't have one, but you said, I think I can get Hal Sparks.
Right.
That was the thing. And I've been a huge fan of Talk Soup, the nerdy comedy show that dissects normal television late night talk shows and makes. So I was a big fan of Hal's comedy work. So when I heard there was a possibility of Hal Sparks, I go, well, that's some serious nerd cred. And I came from 18 years in Nashville of playing for country artists. And I go, what is more Hollywood than playing in a Van Halen cover band with a television host frontman? It's as not Nashville as you can possibly get. That's what I thought.
Exactly. And this is August. And around this time, we still had Forest in the band. And Forest was playing with, you know, Hal Sparks is an Ultimate Jam Night regular. So he was doing a side project with Hal and mentioned Hal to me. And I said, well, why don't you ask him if he's into it? And he said, and he did. And he asked him and he said he was interested, but, you know, he's got a lot of things going on. And that was left from August into September into October without knowing anything. By this time I had Jeff and I had Victor.
And I kept asking, like, you got the singer yet? You were like, hey, I want to rehearse. I'm like, you got the singer yet? Right. I was totally being a Nazi about it, but it worked out.
And the story as it goes is the Halloween show of 2018 at the Ultimate Jam Night. They did the full Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Wow.
Okay. And Hal was playing the nerdy boyfriend. Okay. And here's what happened. I went that night to the whiskey on a mission. I went early. I got there at 8:30. The opening band doesn't even start till 9, but I was on a mission. And I went upstairs and there was like 5 people there at that point. And one of them is Hal Sparks. And he's standing there in his khaki windbreaker with glasses, like without the tape, but just the Buddy Holly glasses. And he's standing there and he's looking in the mirror and he's checking himself. And I just in the corner, I go, "You're perfect." And he goes, looks at me and he goes, "Right? Yeah." And I go, no, not for this. For Nerd Halen. And he looked at me and looked back at the mirror and looked at me and said, "Right?" And I said, are we doing this? And he goes, "Let's do it."
And that was your first conversation with him ever, right?
Yes.
That's classic.
Yeah. He didn't know me, but he knew the Nerd Halen thing. He'd heard about it. And then he put 2 and 2 together when I said that you're perfect for Nerd Halen, and then he figured I was the guy from Nerd Halen. So
Caleb deserves props because he was pimping the name and the brand way the fuck before there was one. So that's how Hal knew what was going on.
And this is the thing about Caleb that impresses me the most is you've actually trademarked Nerd Halen. You own the trademark to that name, like through the patent office and everything, right?
Yeah, that took like 9 months to do.
That's impressive. That's super impressive.
Because you're not allowed to have a trademark unless you can prove use. And I wasn't able to prove use for at least like 10 months after I applied for the patent or for the trademark. So yeah, it's a long process, but yeah, we got it. So
good on you, dude. That's huge. Well, look, just on a side note to where we were before, I've actually found the remotes here, so I'm going to quickly bring this up. The one that I found here is doing the theme song from The Price is Right. Getting sound coming through there yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there was? Okay, cool. Good. Excellent. All right, I'll just get this here.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here comes the most exciting thing that ever happens in the city of Praia. David Hammett, come on now. Scott Ramsey, come on now. Ross Petrarca, come on now. Jimmy Roberta, come on now.
So is this introducing the rest of the band, is it?
Yeah, we had 4 people placed in the audience, and then when we were playing, we would call them out, and they would jump up and run down to the band.
Oh, that's classic.
That's phenomenal.
Oh my God.
Rebooted.
DuckTales.
Disney XD.
Here it comes. It's also our trumpet player, Joe Ferrizzo's favorite song. And his. It's definitely. You're awesome, dude. We love you.
Dance along, please.
Let's do this. Drop the funky beat.
This is gold. You know what? I'm going to tell you right here, live on air, you got a new follower. This is too funny not to follow this. This stuff's gold.
That is brilliant.
So Nerd Halen did our first gig with our first full set with the remotes. We did a double bill, and that was pretty
man. You
fun.
must have been tired at the end of that.
Yeah, I got a lot of stamina. I've been doing this for years, so it's like not that big of a deal.
You know what tired him out was the load of at
yeah, the load in and out.
The load in and out.
Yeah.
Always the hardest part.
It's the worst.
That's always the horrible part.
There.
Well, thanks for that promo. I'm sure the remotes are going to love that. Thank you.
Oh, it's no problem at all.
Fantastic. That's absolutely brilliant.
I have to quickly go through the chats here. We've got quite a few of our friends that we know from Johnny's show on here at the moment. So we have our wonderful friend Beve. I don't even know how to pronounce his name correctly, but yes.
BV Ninja.
Yeah, BV Ninja, yes. But he's a good dude. You know who that is, don't you, Caleb?
Yes. In fact, let me just, I have to give props to Johnny Bean. Johnny Bean's like the oldest YouTube Eddie Van Halen nut to have a show, a regular thing.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah,
there it is.
Johnny has done so much to bring all the EVH heads together. You know, there's people I've met on from the show, from Johnny's show. These are people I was looking for in my teens, you know, because I was the only kid at my.
Oh, we lost him.
Yeah, I was. He looks. It's such a great shot of him too. Look at him. He looks like he's about to get slapped with a fish. Oh my God! Uh-oh, Caleb.
What are we looking at?
The show's over. Look who's here.
Perfect. Perfect.
Oh shit!
Oh
yeah.
Can we hear him?
Of course you can hear
the
me.
size of that microphone.
That's right.
Where are your glasses? Where are your glasses?
Where are your glasses? Where are they? You're supposed to be a nerd. Come on.
Hold on.
You can tell
Don't boss me around.
He's got good.
I have great
Stone
glasses.
the Flaming Crows.
Yes, hold on. You can't even see it. You're not even allowed. Hold on. Here's my glasses. There you go. How do you like that? I'm out of character.
Oh,
Morpheus.
Shit. Yeah, I was going to say Morpheus is here.
I know.
That's right. That's right. You must learn.
So Morpheus, what happened, mate? Did you get into the wrong sunbed? You went into one that makes you pale instead of dark.
That's right. Yeah, it's called it's called Corona Tan, and it's the hip fresh rage.
Just for the record, I have to say this quickly on air because otherwise it's going to destroy our show. We can't talk about the thing on air because YouTube.
Oh yes, the thing.
Yes,
it's called the weirdness.
I was talking. No, I was talking about bathing in the beer. I don't know what you're talking about. It's great for your hair. It adds. I didn't. That's right. Yeah.
Your mom lets you drink beer in the middle of the day?
It's for Pacifico. There is no problem here for you. It's Pacifico. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you in the audience who don't know, we have now finally been joined 23 minutes late because he was off busy getting dropped off by his mum who just couldn't find the right directions to get him here.
Mm-hmm.
Please welcome Hal Sparks.
It hurts because it's true.
In the house.
The nerve of these kids. Hold on, I'm switching cameras because you guys deserve better. Hold on, I can actually satisfy our theme for the evening. Just give me a second. Hold on, here coming up. There we go. I think that. Wait. Oh, it didn't like you. There it goes. How's that? That's better.
Hey.
Yeah,
dude, you're not the only one. I can switch around some cameras here too, and get a bit of craziness going on myself, mate.
Come on, this is fun.
I'm all on
Come
top
on,
of it.
Enjoy yourself. Come on, this is a party.
Cameras.
I'm not afraid.
Yeah, Hal, I just told a story. Let's just go back. I told a story about the Ultimate Jam night the Rocky Horror Picture Show when I saw you backstage in your.
Oh yeah, when I was dressed as who's he? What's it? Yeah, him.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
And I said, "You're perfect for Nerd Halen," and you like.
That's right.
Literally at that moment, looked at yourself in the mirror and said, "Yes, you're right."
Well, I had already agreed to do this
later, and
if you'll recall, I agreed to do this way earlier. Like so for those of you that don't know the backstory, can you hear me? Can you not hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you fine.
That's not the story.
Go ahead.
Caleb came up to me at the jam before that and at another night and just said,
I forgot.
Yeah, he's like, he was so sheepish. It was truly Nerd Halen history. He rolls up and he's like, "Hey, I played guitar with you on one song before, and I was like, I'm thinking about doing this thing, and it's a Van Halen cover band we call Nerd Halen, and we dress up." And I was like, "I'm in." I don't need to hear anymore.
It's like he was asking a chick to the prom date.
Totally, and I was already hot for him. I'm just saying it was already going to hit. The deal had already been sealed, and he was still drilling for oil, and he'd already struck it. He was there. It was like there will be blood. I've mixed so many metaphors. I've disgusted myself.
But yeah, but it was cool that we met for tea. Probably early January.
Yep.
And of 2019.
Sorry, that was me. I beg your pardon.
And he said, "Look, it's going to take," he said, 2 years. And I said, "What?" And he goes, 2 years. And I was like, "Really?"
I think that's a better background for the show.
Yes.
Much better.
And he said, "Look, things take time. I think in 2 years, we're going to be right where we want to be."
Yep.
And that was a year and 4 months ago. And
and now you're here, exactly where you want to be.
Well,
on live streams with famous friends.
I think our first rehearsal, we ran 5 songs, and I think halfway through the first song, we just knew. We knew it was on. And
so, what was the first song you guys jammed together?
God, that's a good question.
I think we did Panama.
I think so too.
I think we did Panama. That first night at West LA Studios, we did Panama.
Hot for Teacher.
I know we did Hot for Teacher.
Running with the Devil.
Ain't Talking About Love.
Yeah. It was only like 4 or 5 songs.
Yeah. Super fun. And there's a lack of that kind of joy in the world even before all this nonsense started happening, before the recent unpleasantness. Yes. And I feel like it was a good mental, spiritual, and social investment that will do us all some good. That once we put this in the rearview mirror and people are, back out and trying to reclaim life again, this is the kind of entertainment people are going to want. And it'll certainly be a healing balm for all of us as well, just because it's such a joy to do it. And we have so much just being up there in these ridiculous outfits, selling Van Halen as hard as you can possibly sell it, like for convincing the world for all practical purposes, we are they. Comedically in the context of wearing these outfits and doing it, it's just it's so much fun. It never stops being fun.
The concept, as I originally envisioned it, was I wanted something. Look, I couldn't do a straight tribute.
Yeah.
I was told you either have to do a straight tribute or a gimmick. So I leaned towards gimmick and tried to come up with something. And then I came up with the nerd thing. There was definitely like a Spasmatics thing. I'm going to give them credit. They did the nerd thing first, but they weren't specialized to any band. They play 80s music.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do something different because I knew me in a wig and tights, I'm 50, it's just not going to work. And plus I'm 6'4". It's going to be Howard Stern.
Yeah, it's pretty hysterical.
It's just not going to look good. So I had to go a different direction, and I came up with something, but while I came up with it, I'm from a comedy theater background as an actor. I wanted laughs and I wanted fun, but I wanted the music. I wanted you to close your eyes and I wanted you to think you're at a Van Halen show. Mm-hmm. I want you to open your eyes and then laugh your ass off. And
here's really good proof of that, because for the audience out there who hasn't seen anything of Nerd Halen before, the spirit is so captured in this show, and this clip I'm going to show you right now is a perfect example of how it happens. Hal tells the story at the beginning of this clip. Enjoy this. This is an absolute riot. I love this.
Otherwise, but we had difficulties because the opening noise.
Just for the record, is the volume loud enough on your end, or too loud, or too
sounds
quiet?
Good. Sounds great.
All right, here we go.
Apparently, the car driving by the studio sued Van Halen in 1985, and no one else can use the sound effects, so we have to do it ourselves. So, okay, everybody, ready?
The fact that you guys did that with your own voices is just gold.
We had an issue with the sample.
Yep.
So that's the true story behind that, is that there was an issue with the sample.
Yeah, well, it was a mechanical issue with the sample.
I love the fact that you guys did that yourselves, though.
Yeah, every time.
But it turned into a bit.
Yeah, this is the thing I've had to talk to these guys about when we've been on stage, is because I've been doing stand-up since I was 15 years old. I don't believe in problems. On stage, everything is mineable for comedy. Everything that happens when you're trying to be funny should be useful to what's going on. As awful as it goes, the mic fails, lights go out, kitchen catches fire, fight breaks out. All of it should be something that you turn into comedy for the audience, because it's not their goddamn fault that stuff went south, even if it's part of them that did it. So every time we've had an issue, and one of the issues we were having a problem with the sample at one point, and I was like, let's just do it with our mouths anyways. Mm-hmm. And like the three of us together, like four of us together, ultimately like creating the multi-tones in the heart. It worked so well. And I was like, let's just not do the sample anymore.
And real quick, let me just say something real quick. There is a fifth member of the band.
Oh yeah, I'm texting with him right now.
Okay, the picture of the bass player you see right there, because Victor Broden is so busy and so well connected in this business. He's got
not nerdy.
And I have a stunt double that know these songs way the fuck better than I do.
Yeah. he has an understudy.
So who's that on the stage there?
The understudy is Rob Lontock, and
he's my best. He's my best buddy. I play in like 3 other bands with him, and
seriously, he does.
Yeah, I bring him in on everything I can do. The other band that he's in with me is Leslie Pereira and the Lazy Heroes. That's my original band, and we're about to put out a record. And as soon as Victor couldn't make a gig, I'm like, well, I got a guy. I'm in another Van Halen tribute band with this guy. Right. Let's bring him in, and he knows the stuff. We don't even have to rehearse. We'll just show up and play. And
he's already got a Jack Daniels bass.
Yeah.
We had talked about earlier, by the way.
Rob, so.
That's right. I had, because they're in a legit Van Halen cover band, and I was like, we need a bass that looks like a pitcher of iced tea. For a couple of reasons. One is that it was always a lie. There was never really liquor in that, at all. And
what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's true. Oh. And
I'm just playing it in the background. It shouldn't. The volume isn't that loud.
Really
we love watching.
Great. I just love the sound of my own voice.
We didn't know that.
That was a fun show. We played for like 800 people that night, and that was by far our biggest crowd to date.
Now,
let's let the people have a listen. I love the movements. It's like he's in slow-mo. This line here, I swear to God, when I was growing up, I could have swore that the lyric there was, "I've got no love in Korea." That's what I thought it was.
No,
I'm not joking.
Chick Korea.
I almost got in a fist fight with one of my best friends growing up because during the song, I think in Africa by Toto, he thought the line was, "That's nothing that 100 men on Mars would ever do," and it's not
100 men or more.
Yeah, 100 men or more. That's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. He was like, they say on Mars. I'm like, why would you mention Mars? What are you talking about?
And then a song about Africa.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. There's so many mistaken lyrics. Hello, Michael Smith.
Yeah, Captain Smith.
The producer on Johnny's show.
Real quick, I was talking about Johnny Bean and how he brought together all the Van Halen heads. When I was a regular guest on his show, and I decided to do Nerd Halen, and then I released, like, I made an announcement, like, and started a page on Facebook. There was no band, okay? There was nothing. There was me, and a logo, and a crude logo, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to give advice to people out there who want to start something. The fake it till you make it concept is exactly how Nerd Halen came to be and was built. I had nothing for months and months and months, and on that show, on the Johnny Bean show, I kept making it sound like there was a band. There was no band. There was nothing. But
yeah, that's why I felt a lot of pressure in the beginning when you like, this dude's really. There's a lot. This dude's crawling up my keister. I think I have to do this or whatever. Otherwise, his life is on the line.
Exactly. I felt like it. I felt like my life was on the line.
Hal, we were talking before you came on here. He had a lot of pressure from you. Caleb did from you, and he kept hitting me up to maybe rehearse or talk about the band. And I go, "Is Hal in? Do we have the singer?" He's like, "Yeah, I think he's 100% in." A month later, is he in? And I was putting pressure on him too, saying, "Hey, man, I'm not in if Hal's not in." And it was all kinds of shit. And he's in the middle of this spider web trying to make it sound to everyone like it's happening.
Yeah. And just the odds of this like happening are just bizarre. Like the number of like tumblers that have to fall into position were just, it was so strange. And yet I was probably the easiest to convince of anybody. Ultimately, once we decided to do it, just a matter of like the logistics were the only confusing part to me. I was like, I'll show up and sing. What do you got? I can do that. Sure.
Right. And a lot of people, a lot of people know Hal as an actor and a host and a comedian. Hal can fucking sing. Okay. Hal
in that order.
Good as a singer as I've seen. Right. He's got an amazing range. We do Sam, once in a while we'll do Sammy songs. We pretty much stick to Dave era, but we can do the Sammy songs. Yeah. Hal can hit those notes. And I just have to say, aside from all the comedy and all the, the chops that he brings to the table there, the man can sing as good as anybody I've ever played with or ever seen. So
thanks.
Man. You got him out.
Well, let's do a quick Sammy test for you guys. Let's see which Sammy era song is this.
Okay.
So far, anybody got it?
Love Comes Walking In.
Love Comes Walking In. Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Dreams.
The hardest one.
Oh, okay.
The hardest
it's the same opening note. Same key, same opening note.
I know. I just had to mess with you. It's funny though. Like Eddie always
loves
does.
F. He loves F.
Eddie always does C for the keyboard songs. Like it's crazy. Like here you go.
Jump.
It's C as well.
Yep. Yeah.
Eddie Van Halen can never be bothered with any fucking black keys, okay?
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's the only white keys. It's the most German thing about him.
Only the white keys.
Yeah. Only the white keys and they are longer than the others for a reason.
Although actually, he actually did go to D for this one.
I bet he did.
The other D.
All right.
do that one. We'll do that one.
You're getting the only Van Hagar guy in the band, all sappy and teary-eyed.
Yeah,
yeah,
Victor
seriously.
Victor's a huge Van Hagar.
I'm a huge Van Hagar guy.
I'm for it. I will say, as a singer, those two guys could not be more different in their technique. And that's what makes singing both of them in the same show hard. I've done Hagar songs at like the Ultimate Jam Night by themselves, and I've done dozens of Dave songs by themselves. When you do both of them at the same time, it is an entirely different, technique. You have to, because Dave basically sings from the bottom up out of his chest until he fails, until he blows his throat out and squeals. And Sammy sings from the top down, all head voice. Like almost entirely head voice, and
he almost kind of has a Paul Stanley thing going on when he does that.
Totally, and it's all this, it's him trying to be Sam Cooke, like that was the Paul Stanley with Soul Station and all those guys, their dream, and Steve Perry, who they wanted to be as singers, and so they're all up in their head, all up in their nose, and everything is sung down towards your the front of your vocal cords, and it's a lesson that I've had to learn over time. That is is the tough. Yeah,
it's an honor to have John BL in the house. Welcome, sir, to the show. I just have to quickly throw that out there because
John BL, another big champion. Johnny Bean regular. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right on. Hey, John B.
Ben Coombs is here. Hello, up in Canada, Mr. Coombs.
Hey, Ben.
Ben Coombs. Ben Tom. My first interview about Nerd Halen was on Ben Coombs's Canada, Canucks with Guitars show that he has on YouTube. I got to give shout out to Ben as well as Johnny B.
How about a general shout out to Canadian rock in general?
Yes.
Beyond even just the Rush of the obviousness of Rush and other bands like that, but like Thornly and I'm a huge Danko Jones fan. A lot of people may not know them or him, them / them, him, and everybody in the Chad Kruger, Brian Adams clique in Vancouver.
Hey, I got one for you. Max Webster and Kim Mitchell. I absolutely love them.
Yeah.
So good.
I can't believe Nickelback is getting left out.
I said Chad. I name dropped Chad in person. I got nothing but love for Nickelback. So there.
Nothing but love.
Nothing. I saw those guys live when I first got Queer as Folk. I moved to Canada and didn't know I was going to be moving to Canada. So they told me the week before, guess what? You're going to be living in Canada while we shoot this. Like, imagine getting a new job, all prepped. You think it's working in town, and now you're going to live in another country in another time zone. Bye, friends. And so I moved up to Canada, and I was like, I'm going to need a life up here. So I went and saw live music because that's my way to introduce myself to a new town. That's one of the best ways to do it. And I went to a place called Government, which is a venue up there, which is great. And it's kind of like the size of the Key Club in Los Angeles, or the Vic in Chicago, 1,500 people or so. And it was Nickelback, Default, and I'm blitzing on some small up and comer band that they were giving a lift to. And they killed it. Everybody sounded like a live concert video. It was perfect. Like they showed up ready to do the job, and it was amazing.
Well, here's a quick Canadian test for you folks. Let's see if anybody can grab who this is and name the song.
It's been 1 week. Yeah.
Great Canadian band.
I just thought you were going to play Loverboy for some reason.
That would have been a good choice.
Adam Reaver from F-U-Tone is in the YouTube chat. Nice. He mentioned Triumph.
Oh, he is too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Triumph.
Nice.
And I got to thank Adam Reaver.
Welcome to the show.
Adam Reaver last year included me in his list of artists. It's like the first endorsement I ever received as a musician.
It's the same old story.
It's pretty awesome. Again. And as long as we're talking about endorsements or whatever,
into justice. Sorry, you bring up Triumph. I'm gonna dive in.
Okay, Jason McNamara. Okay, the host of this show. He mentioned my name to Mike Tempesta, who is the artist relations guy for Fender. And Fender obviously has EVH, and he told me, mentioned me to him. And I just that alone, you know, gave me chills. And then at NAMM this year, a few months ago, he walked me up to Mike and introduced me, and I talked to Mike, and Mike told me to email him next week, and we'll talk about it. I sent him an email. Long story short, I'm an EVH artist now, and it's largely because of Jason. It's largely because of Jason. Obviously, the product is something that they were interested in because they don't have, you know, tribute band artists on their roster, but they liked this concept enough to bring me in. And, you know, aside from like the birth of my children, you know,
and meeting
hearing
me.
the news that, and meeting Hal, hearing that I was with EVH and was just, as you know, a dream come true. You know, I'm sitting actually at my folks' house because I can't do this show from my apartment because there's too much going on. I'm in the room I grew up in, and this room used to have of Van Halen pictures in them. And, you know, to actually become an EVH artist eventually at 50,
to be back in the Spank Bank itself, making a deposit like this.
That's what I was going to say. He didn't actually stick the he didn't stick the Van he didn't stick the Van Halen pictures on the wall with blue tack, folks.
No, he didn't.
No.
Oh.
Actually,
that's why they're still up.
I met him when I was 13. So that's another story. I met
you met Eddie when you were 13, right?
Yes.
Look, I want to quickly do something here. I've got to hang somebody out to dry because this is pretty harsh. Like, I can't believe they did this. Let's just quickly share my screen so you can see this because, like, come on. You know, where's the support? Where's the love? Check this out. I messaged out to a bunch of people yesterday. So everything Van Halen and David Lee Roth page. Hey, guys, Nerd Halen will be on the show. Could you please share it? Look at this response. No.
Wow.
You bunch of pricks. I'm going to hang you out to dry and say, fuck you. What a bunch of pricks. Anybody watching the show, unlike that page if you follow it, because fuck them.
There's plenty of haters.
Some people cannot take how great we are. And they're gonna live in shame and ignominy, and they're gonna shiver in the shadow of their own weakness, and they're just gonna have to learn to deal.
And most of them, most of them is they didn't think of this first, and they're
that's right.
And I'm sorry. It's really true. It's true.
And they're mad at how good I sound. Yes, it is honestly, with the professionalism of the musicians in the band, it is no surprise that they sound as good as they do. But there is an element of just shock to me sounding even remotely okay. They're like, "What, that dude? What the hell?" Like that's what it's about. That's all it's about.
Of course it is. Hey, I hate to break the comedy, but we got a serious question here. John is a regular viewer of our show, and our serious question for Caleb: you have FU tone noiseless springs, but I noticed in your TGR here posts the clips that you hang on, sorry, clips of your straps are also very noisy. What's the story? What's going on here?
This is not nerdy at all.
Yeah.
Oh, he's referring to my this guitar right here post. By the way, I started a hashtag when the thing started.
The weirdness.
What is it?
The weirdness.
5 weeks ago. The weirdness. I hashtag this guitar right here. I wanted players to show their guitars and talk about because every guitar that a guitar player has a story, and I thought that'd be good if everyone just shared a story about each guitar. And I started the things. I have one of them right here. I do have noiseless springs and the big block FU tone right here, big block noiseless springs. But yeah, I use these things which Eddie originated, which are basically dog collar clasps that I use as my strap. It makes a lot of noise on the guitar.
That's
so bitchin'. Yeah. The noiseless strings are basically for when you're using the Floyd. You know, and
that's braced against your body anyway.
And you don't have to hear. It's a different sort of spring, and it has
in the middle of a melodious, smooth tone like that. You don't want to go. Do I hear springs?
Exactly.
Yeah. only Eddie Van Halen would go, I can't. I still hear the spring. You guys still hear the springs? Yeah, Eddie, we still hear the springs. Keep working on it.
That turd out of the punch bowl.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's Mom's special recipe. Yeah.
Michael Smith is bang on. Caleb's worked his ass off to get here, and he has. And good on you, dude. I mean, you pulled this whole thing together and got this great lineup of guys to do the band, and the proof's in the pudding, and it's only going to grow. And I hope you guys end up in like a Las Vegas residency or something.
We're working on it. And I'm in Vegas right now. As things start to open up, it's curious that smaller venues will actually, and bands with slightly smaller draws who are developing will actually have a better time getting back on their feet in some ways than larger bands that are doing over 1,000 people. Just, even as the bum rush to start again will start, they'll still be, playing to a half empty crowd used to be something to be ashamed of. And now
it's like, yes, someone turned up.
We're the safest show in town. Come to our shows. It's only half full. Like that would have handed out flyers.
I was having this conversation with somebody yesterday, and I was like, think about it this way, right? If Metallica goes and even tries to do some sort of a club gig, it's going to be like when the David Lee Roth band tried to do that reunion at Lucky Strike a few years back.
Oh, yeah.
Things are going to get
fire marshal guy called. Totally.
So it's your time, guys. It's your time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting. I do think that like tribute bands who are playing like smaller venues, if people are jonesing to see their favorite artists, it's, this is one of the ways you're going to be able to get out, beat your kind of stir crazy feeling and get back to that, before you actually get to see them. Because I saw Kiss right with DLR with David right before they stopped. They had one more show, right, and then it was and then the recent unpleasantness. They're going to pick up a bunch of these dates, and I have tickets to see them, but I have no idea when those tickets are going to actually happen, and I'm guessing next year at this rate. So in the interim, if I was Mini Kiss, I'd be on the road right now. I'd be planning. I'd be rehearsing. I get some lozenges and some masks, and I get
Yeah. Well, let's
we
be
take
fair,
up half the space, and it's easier to social distance for Mini Kiss.
And it's not like the real Van Halen's going to be out on tour anytime soon. The way things are going with their track record history, anyway. So
no, I will say. Can I just say for the record, as a huge David Lee Roth fan, and that's how this kind of from my end came up. I have always had like love and respect for DLR. When I saw him with Kiss, he killed it. He was amazing. There were background vocals for the band with his voice in them, but it didn't take away from the fact that he was doing all the singing. It just added to that fact. It was like the album in that regard. And it was amazing. There was not I'm a firm believer in that Gene and Paul had a sit down with him and said, we'll give you these gigs, but there's none of this barking around the stage, forgetting the lyrics, not singing the notes. You got to show up because our audience expects you to show up. And he did. And it was beautiful to see. In many ways, I was almost more excited to see it than Kiss at that point, because I've seen them many times and I've only seen him a couple of times. Last time I saw him, I think was when he did a full band tour I guess maybe the 90s. I saw him once during that, the album with the devil on the front of it, whichever one that was.
I think that's A Little Ain't Enough.
Yeah, Little Ain't Enough. That's
91,
right.
91.
Right. That's right. But I'd seen him on the Skyscraper tour, and it was amazing. And like you go up there. I've always said like David Lee Roth is the Joe Biden of rock stars. You're like, come on, dude, bring it. I know you got it in there. Do it. Please don't. I did it. He did it. He nailed it. Like there's a little nervousness about him. I love him that way. I love both of them the same way.
You see that question, Hal?
Yeah. What? Which is more
for
challenging? Cover Sammy or Roth? It's not about which one's harder, honestly. It's just that they're different channels. So if you do a whole Sammy show, it's not as hard as you would think singing wise, because he's got a strategy. He also, he pops flat a few times in some of their live concerts or whatever, because it's a lot. It's a lot. And I love him. But the trick is going back and forth.
Who's that?
That's
Who's
Jeff.
feeding back?
That's
Jeff.
Jeff's playing with his phone.
Jeff, turn your phone off.
It's off.
Jeff, you got to turn the volume off, dude.
Jeff, turn your volume down.
Oh,
It's
are you
off.
trying to? Are you trying to copy me?
No, don't. Turn it down.
He actually doesn't do too bad.
Join.
I got an American friend over here in Tokyo who always says 1999.
1999.
I say that.
I
Yeah.
know.
1999.
I know.
So guys,
That's more New Zealand.
talking Van Halen. You've spoken about two of the vocalists.
Mm-hmm.
How about the album that no one speaks about, the third, Gary Sharon, for that one album? Do you cover any of his stuff in the band, or do we just not talk about it?
No,
I think we're bringing Bob Saget in. He's going to do Gary Sharon.
Yeah, he's gonna. They're gonna fire me during the set, and Bob Saget will come in and do one song, and then I'll come back.
That's the best bit. That's the best bit.
The ultimate song for him to choose would be "Without You."
Yes, yeah, and he has to make up the lyrics, and it's all filth.
Oh,
yeah. Although I vote for Gilbert Gottfried, but we'll figure it out. Well, I think it's possible. I only got to do one album. So why does anyone think this is a change for me? So yeah,
I want to draw a little bit of attention to Hal's eyes here and the way he looks here. I just want you folks to know that we just received a message here from his daughter. She's just Hal's daughter has just sent in. Here she is, right here.
Oh, see, gotcha.
oh my God!
The resemblance is uncanny, isn't it? Look at him. The resemblance is so there. See,
I owe money.
Yeah,
it's there,
and you can't tell you're in Tokyo or anything. What is it? What's the internet rule? What's the anime rule? Is it rule number 37?
There's so many of them. It's hard to keep up, man. There's too many rules.
Rule number 37, though. I think it's. I have to look it up. It's the cuter you look in anime, the higher chance you'll be sexually assaulted. That's right. Yeah.
Yep. We don't even want to go down the road of how disastrous certain things are here in Japan.
Yeah.
It's an interesting place to be. Let's put it that way.
Honestly, who doesn't want a vending machine that has girls' underwear in it?
We lost our host.
We lost Jason. Jason's internet's been shut down.
It's immunity.
My Australian internet was so terrible.
I have to say that when I was in Tokyo, we were looking for those vending machines and we never saw them.
They're in they're limited. They're short supply. They don't want to mix them with the snack rows because that's a bad mistake or whatever. You're in the middle of conversation. You chuck a couple of yen in the thing. You reach down. You're continuing to talk.
I talked about the rules, and that's what happens.
Oh yeah, the rules shut you down.
You don't talk about the rules.
They're
there, but you don't talk about. Seriously, it's crazy. The rules thing is a massive thing here in Japan. I actually went through this 2 days ago at the post office. I had to try and get a refund for a shipment that they wouldn't allow through because of the lack of planes at the moment. And this is a true story. I went to the post office to get my refund, and they said, we have to refund it to your bank account. I'm like, well, that's going to take like 3 or 4 weeks. They said, yeah, probably about that, maybe a little longer. I'm like, I paid cash. I want cash back. The rules say that we have to do it by that. I'm like, well, where on the form is it written? Oh, it's not written there, but that's the rules. That's Japan.
David.
Yeah, wow.
David, put that Steve Mark Carmichael quote up there, or a question.
Oh, and by the way, for the record, question, is the Van Halen camp aware of Nerd Halen? Yeah, they are.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have it on good authority.
Yeah. I don't know. I think DLR is as well.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, but I told Alex personally. So I ran into Alex right around the time that I had.
You tell everyone personally. That's not, that's a fair measure.
But at least you have a role in life.
But since then, I've heard from people well connected that Eddie actually thinks it's a great idea and loves the idea. So
that's great.
That's
is he just kicking himself that he didn't think of it first?
Right? He did.
I don't think so.
Probably doing that.
Yeah. Although I bet we could play Cabo Wabo. We could do his little get together he has every year. So the Cabo Comedy Festival was oddly timed to be at the exact same time as Sammy Hagar's birthday one year.
Mm-hmm.
And I went down there I performed and I gave Bud Friedman from the Improv an award, and which is, one of the great moments of my life. And the guy who wouldn't give me any stage time till I was already on television. But anyways, I'm down there and I was like, I'm supposed to be going to gigs, and I'm like, but they're having a jam and Sammy's you can play and sing with him. I could go, but I have a show, but I could, and I feel like we should go down there and do that. I know we could. I know for a fact we could go down there and do, and
that would be so awesome.
Yes. It would be, And then of course we have to come to Japan because, like, come on, how does this not work in Japan?
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
I actually made a little promo teaser thing for this yesterday, and I put it up, and I actually mentioned on the little promo teaser that if anybody watching is in a country where you can help to get Nerd Halen out there, you're going to love it. So, and I agree completely. This thing would work worldwide because the real Van Halen isn't touring, and this is a great concept for a show.
Yeah, and we nail it. We sound like them. I have to say, like, as much that was my only rule when we talked about this. Was I was like, okay, I like it. It's funny. But we must sound like the record. That's my only rule. We have to nail it because even as you come see a tribute band, I don't want you to jazz up the songs. Like, even if, like, one of the most horrifying moments a concert goer can experience is when the band has one hit. They are supposed to play it at this point in the show, and somebody brings out an area rug and 2 stools, and you're like, they're going to do the acoustic version. I'm out. I'm out. What are you doing? I quit. How dare you? You do the full production, and I want it to sound like the record, and I want the dance remix version. I want the 8-minute live, perfect, nailed version.
Yes.
High notes and all. That's what I want. And when I go see a tribute band, I expect that more almost than the real band.
That's it.
That's so true.
So
I got a quick one. Our second rehearsal. All right.
We're going back in the new
LA. We were playing there, and I think we were into like song 3, and Victor just stops everything mid-song. Oh, we lost Victor.
So much so that Victor just leaves.
Right.
He hates getting complimented, so he had to duck out for a second.
So I'll tell the story. Victor stops this song and just goes, and he looks at me and he goes, wait, what bands have you played in? And I seriously, at this point, 49 years old, never had a solid gig. I've always been a bedroom guitar player, always been this one-trick pony type player. And he goes, and I said, like, I can't say. I really haven't played with anybody.
None. The answer is none.
None. And he goes, dude, you're like the Van Halen unicorn. And I thought,
that's right.
It was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. But it was such a compliment coming from somebody like Victor, who's played with everybody, and to me that meant the world to me, and it was the funniest moment ever. I mean, Hal Sparks is a very funny guy.
It's true.
The funniest end of the end is Victor.
Welcome back, Victor.
I mean, he is just. I just told the story, Victor, about how you stopped the rehearsal, and you
called him the Van Halen
bands
unicorn.
I'd played in,
right?
And you called me the Van Halen unicorn, and I thought that was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. And but anyway, I thought I'd tell that story. But.
Well, I say a lot of shit. I'm glad something stuck. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure my neighbors here in the suburbs are soaking up all the Wi-Fi by watching porn because
yes, this has all been destroyed by
well, because they were watching this stream and they saw the picture of Hal's daughter and they just couldn't contain themselves.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Oh no! I got a
quick shout out here to Metal Mike 5150. Welcome to the show, mate.
Hey, Metal Mike.
I'll tell you what. Without the Johnny Bean audience, we'd be just sitting here chatting to ourselves tonight. You were saying before, guys, about the authenticity of the sound and how much that matters to you. And I just want to play a quick little clip here for the audience to be able to gauge this, which is bang on. Love the squeals.
Yeah. The kid's got moves.
Your dancing's as bad as David Lee Roth's.
Thank you.
This is great. He's getting his 16 candles on.
Yeah. Well, that's what you have to throw in the, the dance moments from the 80s, right? So that works. Yeah.
100%. It's great. So if anybody out there...
go ahead. There's times during the show where Hal catches himself actually being too cool, and then he has to instantly overcome that with something extremely
stupid, goofy.
Yes.
Yeah,
I literally question.
I still have
the most groupies. Well, they look. I mean, right now we've
Victor
got them
is
off
Swedish.
stage.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm also mortally pale, so they're attracted and then turned off.
Right. They're drawn to the light. He attracts moths.
Yeah,
it's like a light bulb.
They don't know whether to date him or toe tag him. So
yeah. I always feel like if I do get any groupie attention, I'm doing something wrong. I've broken character. Right. That's there was literally a moment in that show that we're talking about at the gas lamp where I did a little slide on the stage.
Yeah.
And I was literally mad at myself afterwards because I was like, that's not, that you can't move that smoothly and be this guy. That doesn't work. Don't do that.
It worked.
Yeah. I was like, that was, yeah. And the squeals are the most important thing about doing David anyways. So.
And Eddie.
Yeah. Yes, right.
There's the question for you, Caleb. How long have you been playing guitar?
Well, I'm 50. I started playing an acoustic when I was 12. I lost interest. And then at 13, I met Eddie Van Halen backstage at One Day at a Time, the show his wife was on.
The one place where you could say hi to Eddie Van Halen and get away with it.
Right. And I actually snuck back to the green room, and it's a great story because the night changed my life forever. I was able to hang out with Eddie and Alex backstage in a green room full of actors like Valerie Bertinelli, Howard Hessman, Boyd Gaines, Mackenzie Phillips. All these people were running in and out of this green room, which was just behind the soundstage, or just behind the set in the soundstage. And I was just sitting there with the two Van Halen brothers. This is March of 1983. They'd just come off their tour of South America and were prepping for the biggest concert of all time, the US Festival. And I was 13, and I was asking them every question under the sun, some stupid, but most actually pretty good questions. And I had no fear at that age of anybody. And I remember the one thing I always wondered about that night was, why didn't they ever say, like, who's this kid? Get him the fuck out of here. They never said that. They talked to me like, a human being. And Eddie was more impressionable to me as just a good person, and realizing like the kind of effect he was having on young people, and that he's got to be like Joe DiMaggio. Like Joe DiMaggio would play every day because he knew that there was somebody out there that had never seen him play before, and that he had to play that day because they came to see him, and he had to give them the goods. And I believe Eddie, to me, gave me that type of attitude. Like, this kid, is going to leave here, and who knows where he's going to go, but he's going to leave knowing that, I'm a good dude and I'm down to earth. And yeah, I left that night and I listened to the records closer. I had a few albums. I didn't know what he was doing, but that night started it all. And I spent the next 10 years in my room for 8 hours a day. So that's how it all happened for me.
Right. Who invited you to the show? I have a question from my chat zone.
Well, my father was a writer, screenwriter in the business, and has a lot of, friends in the business. And they had a friend who was the assistant director on One Day at a Time, and her name is Pat Fisher.
He's into that, doing some weird things,
like 3 or 4 times prior.
Mm-hmm.
Me?
Yeah, your internet just cut out for a second there.
Sorry, she would get us into the tapings of the show prior, like the 3 or 4 years. So I've been to like 6 or 7 One Day at a Time tapings prior to that night, and that's but that night
that's more than can be said of Mackenzie Phillips. Me, so.
There's somebody in the chats that we need to acknowledge quickly, because I've been waiting. I was letting you tell your story first, but look who's here watching the show. Forest McKinnon.
Forest. Forest. Come home, Forest. Are you still in Sweden, you bastard? We love you, Forest.
Jeff doesn't want him to come home. If he comes home, Jeff's out of a gig.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the deal, wasn't it?
Well, no, Forest. I'm in another band with Forest. So I'm in a 3-piece with Billy Younger from Lab Rats, the kid who played my son. We had a little blues trio we were working on before he got shipped off to Sweden, and Northern Europe doing whatever
escapades.
He is escapades home. And he is back home now. His last stop was Austria.
Have you seen his show? Have you looked at that show?
I've seen videos of it. Yeah.
He is freaking amazing.
Oh, you're in LA. Good. Yay.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Mm-hmm. And I know.
Not only is Forrest an amazing host and an actor and a voiceover artist, he's grown up as a skater, and and he's been doing ice shows, his whole adult life.
Ice skater. Yep.
And he does stunts like check the hashtag the Death Claw, Claw. Okay, just look up that hashtag. He does a move during these shows. He hasn't done it in a few years, but it's a device that's basically will kill you if you mess up.
Mm-hmm.
And he jumps right through it. But if you mess up, you're dead. Like there's no, and there's pieces of you in front of the audience. Like it's frightening.
Which is what I go to, what I want when I take my children to see an ice show with the Muppets. I'm like, yeah, but could somebody die? That was one of the hardest questions I had with my 8-year-old. He's like, okay, but could somebody die? I was like, yes, someone could die. You're like, okay, then I'll go.
It's not enough that people are doing. Pull up the death.
Landing on your head on ice is enough. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it's not even exciting. It's just, oh my God, he stopped moving.
Yeah.
He's sliding. Oh, that doesn't look good. Okay. Well, let's go get some popcorn and see if this is over.
I just typed in Deathclaw and I got some weird dinosaur thing.
Yeah, you will. But we love Forrest, and Forrest, I know you're in LA, but I'm not there, and we're sequestered. I hope I will be there sooner rather than later, my brother.
For those who don't actually know this, Forrest was actually Will Ferrell's stunt double in Blades of Glory, which is incredible.
Yes.
Right. Just for the comedy, though, not for the skating. It was weird. They CG'd. Forrest is so funny. They CG'd his face on him. He also did Anchorman 2 because Will's apparently too rich and can't be bothered.
That was Forrest.
And Forrest is genuinely like a multi-talented, insane individual. Like the amount of stuff that this guy is capable of is
and nicer than he should be.
Oh, isn't he? It's insane.
Yep.
He's so supportive of everything I'm doing. Like here's a quick little clip of him backstage somewhere.
Sail away with someone's daughter. Better save the women and children first.
Yeah, he does an amazing Roth.
I love the face. And then here's another one. I'm just pulling up stuff here. Who knows what's going to happen?
Right. Sorry.
So it's man's bottom half?
Yeah. I'm just going to see his legs.
That's it. That's it.
I love his speaking voice.
Yeah.
on us. Showtime.
Ah, yeah, this was in Austria. This was
2020.
Yeah, his tour was cut short by the thing.
Yeah. Is it sad that is it sad and Forrest kudos to Forrest, but is it sad that I'm amazed that he can just selfie and skate at the same time?
Oh, the dude's incredible.
That in and of itself, like I'm impressed. Yeah.
I just think it's quite funny because when you say skate, I don't think ice skater at all. I always think skateboarder.
Yeah.
So I was thinking,
oh,
he's a skater. I was like, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, sweet.
This is quite a lot manlier.
I love his machine gun sound effects when he does this. Check this out.
Yeah,
a Tommy gun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seriously, like the dude is on a whole nother level. What he? Oh, here you go. Sorry, I'll go back in a second.
Is this Deathclaw or?
He's filming.
Oh, there he is.
He's filming while he's skating.
How's it going?
But no, I just found this one here. This is him doing the Blades of Glory stuff.
He's working, and he's working, and this is my brother, Marcus. We're the Marcus!
So he's actually got, you can see there in the shot, he's actually got the dots on his face for the visual replacement right there.
Yeah.
Of being able to put him into place of Will Ferrell in Blades of Glory. That is incredible. The tricks and stuff. So whenever you see Will Ferrell doing those slides,
I thought that was from the Ice Capades version of The Crow. My bad. I thought
that's where Deathclaw went wrong.
Oh, definitely with the heel.
Yeah. Thank you. Better than a rim shot. Yes, those are those hockey skates. They're ice skates. I don't know if they're hockey skates. I don't know what stunt guys wear, but yeah, no. Forrest is the man, and he's lovely, and I'm glad to know him. He's a good soul. We all let's all listen into a celebration of Forrest.
Yes, Forrest was obviously an early member of Nerd Halen, and he helped us get along. He's the reason Hal's in the band. He's the reason Jeff's.
Yeah, I was like,
band.
okay, if Forrest vouches for you, I'm cool. I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah. So
if Forrest is okay with you, then I'm okay with you. Yeah.
I actually have here a behind the scenes video that he had sent me a while back of him doing the whole Blades of Glory thing, just so I can quickly let the world see how cool this is. I've got it right here. Share the audio, and off we go. This is a quick little thing backstage of him doing this.
Oh, thank you, Lorraine.
A wig.
And then here, he's bound to have something like one of these daring stunt moves in here somewhere.
And I
Love
think,
the hair.
yeah.
3, 2,
Go on, Hal.
1, action.
What's up?
You lost the glove.
That's legit.
Would have too.
Hang on, why is Chad Smith there?
Yeah, really.
Right?
What is the drummer for the Red Hot Chili Peppers doing stunt work on Blades of Glory?
Yeah, I thought Forrest did this, but it looks like Chad Smith's doing it. But no, that's really cool, man, that Forrest did all that stuff, like, what an amazing thing to do. It really is. Actually, hang on, is that a trick? But I mean, when you see the slides and all the crazy things that happened during the film production, that was all Forrest, so what a champion.
Well, I think the greatest thing those two guys did with their lives is they both married Swedish women. And I think they just have a cult of dudes who married Swedish women.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Again, I'm not patriotic, nothing like that. I'm just
no, not at all.
Just,
look at this. Forrest. He's enjoying it. Bye, you guys. Well, come on, Forrest. You're a fucking champion, mate. It's all good.
Yeah, we love you.
All right, so let's start talking about somebody else who's not in the band and get back into the band.
So we had a serious question coming.
Oh shit!
What's the toughest song so far to nail down for you guys, and why?
Oh, well, who's
Girl Gone Bad?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Well, it's.
We've done. I think from a drumming standpoint, Girl Gone Bad was pretty tough.
because it's basically a Rush song. Like Van Halen does Rush.
Yeah, it's white people math. It's what it is.
Yeah, it's not hard for me. It's one of the easier ones, actually. It's a little weird.
It's not easy.
That sounded more like Bananas in Pajamas then.
I think it would be different for everybody in the band has a different one.
Yeah, absolutely. You will.
What we've been faced with, because most of our sets in the first 10 I've been 4 minutes, and for that you really you're gonna get eight or nine songs in. You're gonna get 8 or 9 songs in if you're lucky.
Yeah, what's interesting
we have to keep it to. Yeah, we have to keep it to songs everyone knows. So right there, there's just the standards you got to go.
They mean me. Those guys know everything. I'm the one who's late to the lyrics game with a bunch of this stuff. They mean me. But
luckily, there's only 5 lyrics in "Girl Gone Bad." So,
right? Yeah. So that's super easy. Right now is hard. Right now is one of the harder ones, because the mix of singing, but also we had tech issues with like the volume of the keyboards and stuff in it versus, because we're playing to a track, and just manipulating that one and getting it going has been a bit of work, I will say. And that's less about it's more a technical difficulty, but it's still there, Yeah.
And I didn't know how to improv at the time, so it was just pretty blatant that it was a tech issue, but now I've learned how to improv and roll with it.
Right. Yeah. I was like, it's funny. Just stay funny, and you're okay.
In the regular set that we're used to, Hot for Teacher is just as frenetic and crazy as it gets.
Right.
For the drummer especially, and for the guitar player, it's a train that you're on that you could fall off at any time. And you're fucked.
Yeah.
And
I enjoy
especially during the solo.
I just toast my way through that song. No real bass playing.
But no, you see, that's the thing though. Like with Hot for Teacher, for the bass player and drummer, I think it's the hardest thing, because the timing during the guitar solo is really not easy.
Weird.
The way the chords turn around make no fucking sense. I'm going to blame it on drugs. It's too weird to be written, but it's fun to try to do it.
Yeah. Watching Victor chart these things is like high math in and of itself. He's like, what? There's a whole missing measure here. This is not right.
There's another and there's another story. When we first started rehearsing with Victor, I remember being at rehearsals, and he'd come in, and we had a list of the songs we wanted him to play, or wanted to play with him, and there was always 1 or 2 that he didn't work on. So he would tell me, just give me a few minutes, and then I'd watch him put his headphones in, and then he'd take out his pad, and he starts writing. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's just writing and writing and writing. He listens to the song one time through, and he goes, okay, I'm ready. And he puts the pad down on the floor, and he plays the song right through perfect.
Yeah.
And that's
and then he starts correcting you guys, and it's hilarious.
Exactly. No, he's done that.
Yeah. I'm not kidding. Like, he goes to the A there.
We put him to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh no, he froze. He's bored. Just charting this is so boring. Scooby-Doo.
It must be a bass player thing, because I've worked with bass players that do exactly the same thing. They're the ones who sit down and just nerd out. As a drummer, I just sort of turn up and go, what's the song? Yeah, cool. Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. And I
if you only have 4 strings, how bad can you screw up? And if you do, the pressure is on.
It's huge.
So yeah, like how do you screw up with just 4 strings, dude? That's like a singer screwing up. Get on with it, so.
And even something as simple as Jump. Everybody thinks Jump is such a straight ahead song, but like the guitar solo section of Jump is such ridiculous timing. Like, even if I just play the keyboard part for you guys out there in the audience to really get your head around this, a lot of people don't really realize when they listen to the song, that guitar solo section is so easy to get lost on. So like normally you got timing at 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 1. It's so straightforward. Here's the keyboard. Here's the keyboard part that the drums and bass play along to behind it. Check this out. Sorry. Like, it's ridiculous. It is just so nonsensical.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of places where the singing comes back in, is a half a beat one side of the equator every time, and you're like, he's early on some stuff, late on others. Like the what's the one that we always have where oh my God, was that me? Okay, that was you.
No.
Okay, that was good. I thought that was
You want to try it, Caleb? Let's try it together. I don't think it's going to work with the latency, but I'll try and ignore it and just play along to my own timing.
Okay.
If anybody claps along, it's not going to work. So hopefully the end result of what the audience is going to hear will work. Let's give this a go. Here we go.
No pressure.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm still looking for keyboard tights that I can wear on stage so I can just play my legs during the show.
Yes, do that.
Yeah.
Now, let's not give it away here, but has Caleb told you guys about the idea I had for us doing a music video together? Let's not discuss what it was, but he's told you about it?
Yes. Yes, he has.
What do you think? Do you reckon we'll get around to that when this problem is over?
I insist.
Nice. That was out of this weird, crazy brain right here. I think it's going to be hilarious if we make this happen.
I agree. I also have the only addition I had to it when we talked about it was that of an upright video game, and we'll talk about that later.
Oh, hell yeah. So for the audience watching, we're not going to tell you what it is, but we are planning for the 5 of us to get together and do a music video for Nerd Halen, which is going to be awesome.
Yes, it is.
We already have a song
I'm stretching already.
Yeah, we have a song recorded waiting for a video right now.
Beautiful.
Yes, here we go. Following along with a brilliant little question then. So what would you add to the show if you had an unlimited budget? And we're not talking about the video that Jason...
Amanda, that is an amazingly good question, and we'd like to welcome Amanda Coombs from Canada, Ben's sister. What an awesome champion of a human she is.
Yes, and a huge supporter of Nerd Halen, I might add. So
I know what they'd add to the show. They'd add Sammy to come in quickly and do a cameo on stage to get him all the attention under the sun.
Sure.
I think first of all, a frickin' guitar tech and a drum tech. God damn it. Okay, because
that's you're thinking small. Because that's not unlimited money. That's any money.
Right. I finished the show. I finished the show, and I'm literally in my
sweaty nerd outfit,
packing up all the shit and running it out to my car. It's like a 20-minute mad dash.
Only 20 minutes, man. You're not even doing
not
it
good
properly.
for
it's only taking you 20 minutes.
Yeah, really.
Your rig is way too small.
Yeah, really. Talk to the drummer. I would have a full Alex drum kit for our drummer for Jeff if we could. But I mean, obviously a big backdrop of us and with a giant pair of glasses would be pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
With screens in the
video,
eyes.
With
video screens in the lenses that play, like that just have big nerdy eyes like these in them all the time, looking at the audience, and then occasionally are just video, so you could, those are the video screens. But also a hot for teacher to come out during parts of it. Is that a possibility?
Absolutely.
Well, we're started this band because none of us get laid without playing music, so I'm thinking prostitutes. Just
Yeah. Have you seen the Kiss song "Take It Off" from Alive 3?
Yes, I have, and I don't even like Kiss. Sorry, but yes, I have seen that.
That's what we would have. And a giant and a giant cracked Statue of Liberty with laser faces coming out of it. No, that's different.
I want to put those little mini trampolines at certain points of the stage, but they're floor level.
That's right.
You jump on them, and your jumps are like twice as high.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So when we jump, we really jump. So I can jump up in the air and break my nose like Dave did, and doing the splits. Yeah, in Italy.
I think we might have an absolute win here for the request of what? Yeah, exactly, Dave. That's it.
4 bowls of brown M&Ms, dead on.
Nice.
That's an Australian. That's an Australian making that joke, just for the record.
Yes.
That's fine. I think I should sit there and just eat a bowl of them while he's soloing at one point during Eruption.
Exactly it.
We should all just be eating brown M&Ms.
The bit we do during the solo, the eruption solo, is the Hal says, "Look, I got to study. Okay, so can you just do something for a few minutes? I got to study. I got a midterm
while
tomorrow." And they
I
all
got
take
my
out.
book.
They
I
all
got my
take
book
out,
right here.
right. They
Oh,
all take
nice.
out. Oh yeah, they all
Where'd
take
you get
out
that
books.
from?
It was just, I was like, what should we do? We have a sociology and a chemistry textbook and a history textbook. The idea is that we've got tutoring to do. And so it was just making best use of our time.
Yeah, so we
while he's
sit
doing
there on stage. Yeah. We
And we
sit
just
there
study.
together on stage and we just study.
Yeah, while he's doing his solo. That's it. I was like, we got to do something, and we can't leave the stage because it's too small and there's no backstage at half the places we're playing. So since we're going to stay, what do? How do we stay in character and not draw too much focus and yet still be funny? So there you go.
Jay Hannon. I like this one. Hot for teachers should be easy and free.
I've always said that, but it doesn't turn out to be the case.
Mad props to Jay Hannon. That man is an awesome sound engineer. He knows what he's doing with mixing.
Well,
yeah. Not
come
only
help
did
us.
he do your wonderful quick. You're wonderful. He did.
Yeah.
Jay
Live,
did our Christmas song. We have one song on iTunes and all the platforms. It's Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Please download it and stream it. We did it so late in the season this last year that we weren't able to do anything to promote it, and then Christmas came. But next year we plan to have a whole video and a whole thing. The song is actually great. Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And you could probably get that up if you wanted, Jason.
I will in a moment. Forrest just brought this up. He says he hasn't seen Niels Lozauer in months. Now, that's a nice promotion. If you guys can get Lozauer to do some photos of you guys together, that would be huge.
Well, we've wanted to recreate some of the famous Van Halen shots in our nerd gear.
Yes.
Well, if there's anybody to do it right, it's Lozauer. I'm actually friends with his girlfriend, with Kyoko. So, and obviously, you guys, surely at least one of you guys knows Lowe's, don't you?
Never met.
Yeah, there you go. I don't, but we'll talk. We'll figure this out during the video shoot. He'll have to come down. Yeah,
I'll put in a call and see if we can make that happen because his documentary is awesome. If anybody out there hasn't seen it and you love Van Halen and all these things, definitely watch the documentary, the Niels Lozauer documentary.
Yeah, I just watched it.
Yeah.
I watched it like 2 weeks ago, and that prompted me to buy the book, and I just loved it, man. It was just awesome. That guy's been with everybody. He is taking shots of everybody. It's insane.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, all the great photos you've ever seen of Van Halen are, 90% chance it was Niels Lozauer that took the picture. So But
Exactly.
on another note, and I want to send another shout out to an early supporter, Greg Renoff, who wrote Van Halen Rising and has a new book, the biography of Ted Templeman, who produced all the David Lee Roth.
Are you talking about this one?
There you go. That's
right
Greg's
there,
new
baby.
book.
Right
Order
there.
yourself a copy of that book. That's got stories of Van Halen, Doobie Brothers, Van Morrison, all these artists that Ted Templeman worked with, and it's I'm waiting for my copy actually. But Greg Renoff, super supporter of Nerd Halen from the beginning.
I got mine 2 weeks early. Somehow Barnes and Noble were shipping them out, and I got mine 2 weeks early. I'm already.
You're the drummer. You're the drummer in Nerd Halen's.
I've seen this. Exactly.
On another note,
I was just going to say, there's that
David
quote that's
Bertinelli,
getting around. Sorry, go Caleb.
Go ahead. Oh no, David Bertinelli, who's Valerie's brother, who did a lot of the Kramer ads. He's a photographer. Has been releasing pictures of the Van Halen days from the 80s and the 90s that he was available to get. He has all these pictures in his archives that he's never posted or released, and every day he is coming out with a new shot. And early on, when he started doing it, I messaged him that you need to do a coffee table book. This has to be released, and he thought the idea was great. And then we struck up a friendship, and he's actually running by pictures with me and wants me to consult him with Greg Renoff. And it looks like we're going to be involved in the book that's coming from David's personal stash of behind the scenes. And he has photos where he's on the stage, not offside stage. He's on the drum riser during the show. Okay. Not even the drum tech is allowed to stand where he was standing. So you're seeing pictures from, you know, and I advise you, Van Halen had find David Bertinelli's Twitter and follow it immediately.
You got to find
every day he's releasing.
What's his first name again?
David Bertinelli.
Find that shot. Find the shot where he's got Dave doing the splits from both angles, front and back. I don't know how he did that.
He was on the drum riser, and you could see Dave taking off. It's literally, I equated it to seeing the space shuttle from the launch pad.
You mean like this photo here?
Yeah.
Right, but then he went up the next night.
And he got it from the back, too.
Oh, hang on. Yeah. I can see there's double photos there.
Look at that.
Wow.
That's crazy. Oh, man.
No, there's no picture like that ever been released. There's no picture like that.
So, yeah, you can see it because you can see on the microphone right here, like the way the microphone's there and the two fingers are out.
Yeah.
You can see it here, same deal as well.
Well, no, it's actually different nights, but he set up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he can't take both pictures.
Yeah, I thought he might have had a remote shooter or a camera with a...
Well, this is 1982 or something.
Yeah.
84.
Yeah, good point.
84, yeah.
Nerd.
I'm thinking too modern times.
And that's another thing he's been using me for. He doesn't know the actual times or tours even of these shots. And I can tell him based on, you know, obviously what they're wearing in the stage, but also from the length of Eddie's hair, like that picture with the striped guitar on the right there.
I'm just saying from these pictures, you can tell that the show is less physically demanding for Jeff and Victor.
I'm following David right now, so there we go.
Right.
Yeah. But I told him like that picture, people are like, wow, I've never seen the 5150 so clean. And I'm like, that's not the 5150. That's a backup Kramer. He used it, you know, early in the tour. He's actually playing 51 song because I recognize the chorus playing, and it's early
really
in
are a
it
nerd.
might even be from rehearsals.
Yeah.
Totally. Oh, dude, ridiculous. But yeah.
By the way, I went and got my real glasses, so
we
we
appreciate
saw
that.
No more weird anime eyes.
Not as anime as always.
You're not as animated as you were before, Hal.
No, I'm sorry.
No, don't, Jason. That was the worst dad joke
Is
ever.
this better? How's this?
That's much better.
I had a breakout. All right.
Damn pizza face.
So, I once, it was really interesting. My only real tie back to Van Halen, ironically enough, besides just being a fan and the fact that Jump and Running with the Devil were two of the 4 rock songs that were in the jukebox at the arcade I used to play at all the time in Frankfort, Kentucky when I was a kid. It was right next to the theater, and I would just hang out there until my mom picked me up after I watched the same movie 4 times. And that was summer school.
Classic.
Yeah. The only the arcade the jukebox had 2 Def Leppard songs. It had a Def Leppard 45 and a Van Halen 45 in it, and basically it was, and one of them was scratched, I think. So it was like Jump and Running with the Devil, and then like Headed for a Heartbreak was the one from Def Leppard, but the other side wouldn't play, so it would screw up the whole thing, and that's all you could listen to. But my other kind of experience was I went to see a Kiss show, all dressed up in my 80s rock wear when I had long hair in high school and all that stuff, and I had my shredded jeans with my tights underneath, and I was going to the show, and my cutoff tank top that I when I was 18 was surreptitiously taken from me by a 36-year-old woman I was dating, and she never gave it back.
Sorry, are we talking about your T-shirt or your virginity?
Both.
Oh, my T-shirt. No. The virginity was long gone. Thanks very much. These are fake. Anyway, so but I was
so
walking.
Was she.
It was the Kiss. Nice. It was Kiss Asylum. Yeah, it was the Kiss Asylum tour, and I went in, and some dude was like, "Hey man, this is a Kiss show, not a Van Halen show," making fun of my pants, and I was like, These almost look exactly like what Paul's wearing on stage tonight. I know what I'm doing. So like I'm with Kiss the way he is with Van Halen, and And that was the one tie, and that was one of them that stuck with me when I was a kid. I was like, that was your idea of an insult? I don't understand. I didn't roll up on a Metallica show dressed this way. What are you talking about?
Oh, God, back then, if you had rolled up in a Metallica show dress like that, you would have literally walked out dead.
Yeah.
Like you would have walked out.
Or nobody would mess with you because you must be a badass to wear that to a Metallica show.
That's an interesting way to look at it.
That guy must be fearless.
I think all rock bands should just wear the pants from Live Without a Net. Just bright fucking neon pajama
Nobody
pants.
should
that are
wear
4
those
sizes
pants.
too large.
Nobody should wear those.
MC Hammer stole his idea from Eddie Van Halen.
No. Those were Venice Beach weightlifter pants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what that was.
They're
That's
LA
100.
LA meathead pants, or as we know them nowadays, early 80s drummer pajamas.
Yeah, drummer pajamas.
Correct.
A dear friend of mine in Melbourne, a guy by the name of Simon Cotter, who's a phenomenal guitar tech. He's been out on tour with Living Colour, among many other people, and has fixed amps for John Paul Jones on tour and all sorts of things. Puts up a comment here about the photo thing, and he's a smart man, educated. Tone is his handle. Also, check out the Glenn LaFerman. Also took many photos of Eddie in his career and many other artists. He's awesome. So there's another dude.
Which and most people don't know this, but LaFerman is French for the Furman.
Wow. Oh, sorry, that was a bit. Sorry, I thought you were actually trying to educate us.
I don't know now what's funnier.
Sometimes you got to be dry, baby. You got to go in dry and sandy.
Exactly.
See, that's the secret here. What Van Halen did back in the day, all the other bands, all the other rock bands, hard rock, metal bands, they all took themselves way too seriously. And the reason Van Halen broke through to everyone was that they were anything but. It was fun. They were laughing at themselves. They were laughing. It was a lot of just good fun and comedy. There's a lot of comedy in the Van Halen show, with David Lee Roth, obviously, in the back. And
they never took themselves seriously, which is why they broke up 3 times.
Right.
Right.
But
they broke up over dancing in the streets.
When it comes to the tribute, none of these tribute bands that do Van Halen, they can capture that.
That's true.
Can't. They can't capture that. We're capturing the laugh.
Yes, that's right. It's super fun, right? Because we take it as seriously as they did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a gigolo. Right.
Just back on the subject quickly, we were talking earlier about the Niels Lozauer film. Just bring that up quickly so that people can see. That is the cover of the film. It is in your face.
Will Ferrell.
That's amazing. I didn't realize Will Ferrell was in that. Are we sure that's not? Wait. Are we sure that's not Forrest?
I don't believe
Forrest.
It's
Forrest, run!
Go find a picture of Forrest in this exact same pose with dots on his face. I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. although Forrest is nowhere near as tall as those guys. Have you guys seen the David Letterman episode where Will Ferrell and Chad Smith do their drum off?
Off.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Chad Smith is such a badass drummer.
Yeah, he has to be because the rest of the guys are a mess and Flea's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Chili Peppers. Like their old stuff, like Mother's Milk type of era is cool. But like these days, I'm just like, yeah. But when he played with Chicken Foot, it was like, oh man, this dude is just back in his vibe.
Yeah. It's fun watching guys cut loose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, the Chili Peppers thing is certainly they are an original band. They don't sound like anyone else. But to sound like a music nerd, if you're cool with a singer singing a quarter step flat on every song all the time, that fucking shit, it's cool.
That's it. Absolutely.
So tell us what you really think of the Chili Peppers, Victor.
Yeah, right.
Please stop holding back.
Oh God, it hurts.
That's the second.
They have a lot more money than me, and I really love Flea.
That's the second time today I've heard somebody slamming him.
Yeah.
The second time today I've heard somebody slamming Anthony Kiedis, and I can't agree more.
Did you run into other people from the Chili Peppers today? What happened?
The funny thing is they're never going to see this.
Somebody was mentioning like the best players, and they mentioned Flea, and they said Flea's a great bass player, but we just can't stand like Kiedis's like inane lyrics.
Right. Well, I will be forever in Team Mike Patton. So if people want to go look up that feud.
Oh, dude.
Yes. Patton, legend.
Yeah.
No, I stopped listening to Chili Peppers once Blood Sugar Sex Magic was done.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah. I can see the flopping fish. See the flopping fish? Nice.
I actually got lucky to see those guys on the Real Thing tour with Jim Martin. They came to.
You want it all, but you can't have it.
Oh man, Mike Patton
I learned how to sing with my tongue out. That one of the tricks that he has for some of the notes that he does is he sticks his tongue out to thin out his throat, and so he doesn't force a note. So he does. If you watch some of his earlier singing, he does this whole like. Yes, in your face, but you can't grab it. Like that.
That's a good point. Now you do it, I see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go. Let's do this. Let's go your go-to Faith No More song. If you're going to chuck on a Faith No More song that just gives you that, what's your Faith No More go-to song, guys?
It's a midlife crisis.
Nice choice. Nice choice. That's yours. All right. So, Victor, what's your go-to Faith No More song?
I hate to be predictable, but it's the one you played. It's
Epic.
Just the most.
Yeah, epic.
Yeah. I didn't want
Jeff,
to.
I also enjoy. Surprise! You're dead.
Yeah, that's a good one. I have to say, Zombie Eaters.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Caleb, do you have one? You much of a Faith No More guy?
That's where no.
You're
I love
everything. That's why I cling to you.
I'm with Forest. Ashes.
I'm with
Ashes.
Forest all day. Yeah. Absolutely great song.
What do you say?
Oh. Ashes to Ashes.
That's a reach one. That's for a lot of people. You know. I mean, you can't go wrong with Woodpeckers from Mars.
That sounded like a sex thing. I don't know.
That's true. Good point.
Hal just pulled up their song list.
No,
he's got a song.
No, I just checked my chat. I don't have to do that. I audition for celebrity duets doing their version of that's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning.
Oh yeah, no, okay, that's the one.
Yeah,
all right, that's my,
yeah.
All right, that's
So
my
I'm
favorite.
easy, yeah.
By the way,
Easy like Sunday.
Hal sings with Dennis DeYoung. Hal sings with Dennis DeYoung on that show, and it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I got emotional watching it.
I got to do the Tommy Shaw. I got to do the Tommy Shaw note.
No.
Yeah, we did. Like he's like, you take the high note, and I was like, a gulp.
Bastard.
You could pull that up, Jason, if you wanted. That'd be a good thing to pull up.
Those are fun. Those are all right. And I didn't.
I'll try to remember this riff properly.
Oh, sorry.
Because I've got two particular favorite Faith No Mores that just go for me.
Yeah.
One of them would be
Caffeine.
If I choose the right camera. Hang on. Did I not turn the camera?
I'm excited.
It helps if I turn the camera on. No, I am, because these two songs. Come on, where is it? There it is. All right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from the fact that I screwed up the riff, does anybody know which song that is?
From Out of Nowhere.
No.
There's a keyboard part with it though too.
No. This is from King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime.
Oh, okay.
The Gentle Art of Making Enemies.
Yeah, no. Oh, so yeah, no. I was going with so it's basically the same. Yeah, it's basically the same riff as From Out of Nowhere.
Yeah,
and you come from out of nowhere.
And the other one would actually be from that same album. I love the King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime album. The last song of the album, Just a Man, when they do that big thing with the vocal choir and everything, is so phenomenal.
I'm currently searching the trademark database for Nerds No More. So
I'm in. I'll do that in a heartbeat.
I'll play keys on that show.
Yeah, we're gonna need a real keyboard player for that one. That's a totally different. Yep. You can have tracks on other stuff, but no, on this one you're gonna need.
So you better hurry up and do that, because if somebody else is watching this show, they're gonna be on that going, nerds no more. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Patton will be watching and going, I'm taking that.
Yeah, totally.
Hey guys, I gotta take like 3 minutes and feed my hamsters and drain my weasel.
Yeah,
okay. You can just say you're going to take a good old country and western shit. We ain't gonna be mad.
Yeah, right.
I gotta feed my hamsters. They're howling out there. I'll be right back.
That's the strangest name for masturbation I've ever heard.
That's not a metaphor.
I'm calling the ASPCA right now.
Oh my god.
That's
feeding
funny.
my hamsters.
I'll remove him from the stream till he gets back. That's just hilarious. Oh,
I think that's
man.
wise.
I'm just going to get some water. That made me sweat with discomfort.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. And then there was 2.
Yeah. Now they're both doing it.
All right, so now we can get into the show for real. Welcome, guys.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
yeah.
Got rid of the rhythm section, and here we go.
Exactly.
That's right. I'll just bear with.
David's just going.
Oh, that's cold.
He's just trying to be funny.
I'm just a dumbass. It's all good.
Yeah.
So, go on.
So,
I was actually going to say, while we've got this break here and the other 2 guys are gone, Forrest, jump in, mate. I'm going to send you a link on Facebook, and you can take Jeff's place for a while, because Jeff's apparently busy playing with his hamsters.
Oh, that's great. Is Rob available while Victor's going to the bathroom as well?
Yeah, Rob, long talking.
That's hilarious.
Forrest, check your Facebook messages.
Sorry,
mate.
Jeff.
I need to go get my blonde wig.
Oh, hang on. Victor's
Leave
back.
and come back.
Yeah. Victor's back.
Okay, good.
Check Facebook messages, Forrest. I've sent you a link to the show. Jump on in and come and say hello.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you here, considering you were the original first playing drummer.
Forrest has a voice like he's been smoking 3 packs a day for 30 years, and he's never smoked a cigarette in his life.
Since he was in the womb.
Yeah.
It just that's what you get yelling. That's what you get yelling from the kit.
That's it.
Exactly.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah.
He hasn't read the message yet, so I mean, I know there's a little bit of a delay on the video, but he hasn't read the message yet. Maybe he's not going to come in. I don't know.
He'll be in
Forrest.
there. If he's not, he's
watching the show.
Well, he was. That doesn't mean he is.
True. That's true.
Yeah, and he's got stuff to do. He's got to practice the death claw regularly, or it'll get him one day. I don't know, laying in chunks on the ice, going, "I should have practiced," instead of watching that stupid people tell stories I already know.
Oh, he's seen the message now.
Here we go.
Oh, yay.
Let's see what happens. See if he comes in or if he messages me back. Something's going on with my throat all of a sudden, but anyway.
That's you got Forrest. You've caught Forrest. That's him. You're just channeling him.
That's he's got the 2 hamster syndrome in his throat. That's what's going on.
Oh man, well, it's better than getting stuck with the gerbils in an awkward situation.
Is it? I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be able to make that comparison. Tell us how.
You don't know what you're missing, dude. You just don't know what you're missing.
That's true. The truer words were never said.
Catch up.
We'll be all right in there.
Oh, hang on. Here we go. He's here.
Yeah!
Forrest! What's happening?
Look at the hair gone.
Look at that.
Quarantine head.
He's shaving. He's freshly shaving on the top.
Guys!
Forrest!
I love you.
We love you.
Oh, so the audio's working, huh? Okay.
Yes, it is. Just turn your phone sideways there for us so that we can see more of you.
Yeah, so we can see the surroundings. In case you have any stalkers and they want to be able to see what exits and entrances aren't covered in your home.
Here's where the magic happens, it appears.
Mm-hmm.
So how you handling? Are you going stir crazy being back home from tour, or what? Or are you enjoying the break? Or
now I can look cool as you guys now with my mic. Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, oh my gosh, what is you guys? You what a shout out! That's freaking awesome. Thanks so much.
Well, we love you.
I'm hanging out. I'm like, hey, what's up? And all this boom, Is this live or was this like 6 hours ago? I didn't know.
Yeah, no, this is 6 hours ago.
Oh, great.
Actually, those two are in the future up there.
We're in the future. Yeah, this is actually.
Actually, it's true because for me right now, it's 10:55 a.m. on Thursday morning.
You bastard.
Fabulous.
You have more life than we do.
Yeah.
Well,
What's
good
right?
day to you all.
Hello.
Yes. Contraire, good sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, fantastic. I love listening to you guys. You guys are hysterical. This is so much fun.
I can see in the background Jeff's come back and Jeff's now looking at the screen going, what the fuck has happened here? I've been
How did I lose my job?
We've never been replaced so quick in any band.
Chase?
I got replaced.
Thanks, Dave.
Bye, guys.
Jeff got replaced by the guy that replaced him.
Bye, guys.
No, it's all good. Dave's just jumped out of the way for a minute.
What's going on, buddy? Nice to see you.
Hey, guys.
Hey, now here's an idea. Why not have 2 drum kits set up side by side on the stage and, make Hoffa Teacher sound even more insane than it already does?
And then we'll do Nerd Genesis.
And if we could do the mirror bit because Forrest is left-handed.
I am.
So we could play the mirror bit.
Yeah.
Like they can dress up the same way.
Instead of playing like this, they could both set up sideways like Robert Sweet from Striper in opposite directions to one another.
We could put a big frame. Yeah, put a big sideways and then put a big frame behind Jeff and make it look like a mirror and then have Forrest behind the frame.
I have a yellow and black attack. I've got a by your stripes you shall be shaved outfit I've been waiting to wear for a while. So
oh, wait a minute. Wait, Caleb, Nerd Striper.
Nerd Striper.
I'm telling you right now, I'm very good friends with Michael Sweet. If I tell him about this, the biggest issue you're going to have is he's going to want to be a part of the show. I can guarantee it.
Sometimes I just don't know it's there.
Yeah.
Dan, that was good. That was brilliant.
With the devil.
Oh man,
I have to say, you do Michael Sweet well. You do him well.
Well, I was a born-again Christian when I was 11 years old, and I didn't have it, even though I left the flock. I got the flock out of there, as you'd say. I didn't have a chip on my shoulder about it, and I was I was a Striper fan. I mean, the whole, and you can trace the arc of their, of sort of their faith while in the industry by their album titles. Soldiers Under Command. We're here. We're Jesus freaks. We're ready to do this. We're going to rock for Jesus. It's 100% in. We're soldiers under command. We're taking orders from the big guy. Next one, to hell with the devil. That's right. We're sending him. Get in the rear view mirror. It's up. But one secular hit, Calling on You, which is about Jesus. Fine. But it was a secular hit. And then the next album, that was it was their first big single. What was the next album called? In God We Trust. Big dollar bill on this thing. Like, we're out. Chicks, ladies, money. Let's do it.
All that stuff gets even funnier if you start analyzing Judas Priest album titles. British Steel, Ram It Down, Turbo Lover. It's the most hardcore gay porn you've ever heard.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you had a car crash with Rob Halford, those are the gay porn tapes that would have fallen out of his trunk. Spread all over the intersection.
None of them.
I do have to say though, and this is a genuine thing. Like, props to Rob Halford for managing to be gay in this industry this whole time. Like, good on him for being himself.
And look, like an S&M overlord the whole time. We should have known.
Well, it would have been hard.
Hard.
Rob, where do you? Oi, Rob, I noticed you come up with these great album titles. Where are you getting your inspiration from? Actually, darling, Freddie Mercury suggests half of them.
Exactly.
Freddie Mercury gave me the idea for 3 of them. Don't worry about it, but it's all good.
Ain't that the truth?
I'm one of those guys who, like, Turbo is my favorite. I'm one of those guys who hates loves everybody's work, like the most hated fan album from bands. So like Somewhere in Time is my favorite Iron Maiden record. Turbo's my favorite Judas Priest record. Like,
wait a minute. You like Diver Down? You love Diver Down?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh yeah.
Because my ears aren't your ears, friend. That's how life works. I have. That's the reason why. Listen.
Hey, I'll give you that. That song is the best song on that record.
Why we've got the 5 of you here to answer this question? What is each person's favorite Van Halen record?
Mine's easy. Mine's easy. Fair warning. It's the first tour I ever saw, first concert I ever saw. It's just amazing. The departure they took from the first 3 records, that's like their heaviest, darkest record, and I go for heavy and dark. I saw that tour, and I went home, and I
he likes his Van Halen records like he likes his women.
Heavy and dark.
That's right. That's right.
I was actually going to throw in there the way he likes his gay porn, but you went with women.
All right, you guys.
So, Forrest,
we still on Rob Halford? That's fine.
Forrest, what's your favorite Van Halen record?
You know, that's really funny because someone asked me that too, like maybe a month ago. Crazy. I think for me, I would say, I'll be honest with you. If I had to go, do the whole go on an island and bring 10 albums with you, I would say 84 would be with me.
Yep, agreed.
That would be
that's my favorite album. That's my favorite album too.
I love every single one of them, all of them. They're all fantastic. They really are. But 84 kind of is like the showcase with just everything. In my opinion, just saying.
Victor, what's yours?
Well, my favorite Van Halen album is actually Live Without a Net, the video, because I think. But listen, I'll give you an album too. But I got into Van Halen from that Live Without a Net, and I've watched it over 100 times. And I just think if you have the Webster's Dictionary, the word fun. We were talking earlier how they didn't take themselves seriously, and I felt on that show it's just 2 hours of just being completely a fucking clown. And the playing is super on point. And so obviously, because that's how I got into Van Halen, 5150 is by far my favorite record. So,
right.
There that is.
It's like people who got introduced to Kiss through Kiss Alive or Alive 2. You know, it's like, it's better than a greatest hits. It's more legit than a greatest hits. But yeah, 1984, hands down. I'll Wait's my favorite Van Halen song.
Really? Wow.
I love it. Love it.
Yep. Yep. It always has been. Yeah. I mean, I love a ton of their songs, but that's my favorite. And it was talking everybody into doing it in the band was a thing for a while, and it's just it's a joy. I love it.
What and you know what, Caleb? Sorry, go on.
Yeah, well, Caleb's just. I mean, asking him that's like, which child do you want to
ahead, Hal. Yeah, exactly. Aside from just being cliche and say they change, I'll tell you. First, I'll tell you what's my favorite sound. Okay, and this is crazy because it's gonna go against everybody. Diver Down is my favorite sound of the band recorded, just because it's raw. There's not a lot of reverb. There's not reverb. It's very, you listen to something like "Where Have All the Good Times Gone." Eddie's tone and that on that song particularly, it's my favorite tone that he has throughout the whole run. But if I had to pick a single record of theirs, obviously it's going to be Dave era. I'm going to go with 1984 just because it's the peak of it all. The band was never tighter, just never tighter. A lot of those songs are like recorded one pass. Like I've always said, Hot for Teacher is the greatest single rock recording of 3 instruments, one pass live. And I've always wanted to know what it was like and what take it was after they finished recording that song, when they got to the end and finished, like what they were feeling, like running back into the booth to listen. It had to have been something just very special because the song is so dynamic and has so many parts to it.
Right.
Also,
though, because
they're so locked in.
You're such a fan, that's the album where Eddie won Guitar Player of the Year from Guitar Player magazine and Keyboard Player of the Year from Keyboard magazine.
Right.
Right. And
both titles that year, huh?
Eddie definitely, like, he gets a lot of crap for the whole keyboard side of things and what it did to the band. But, you know, honestly, that was so influential in music in general. Like, that even like Bon Jovi had just kicked off around that sort of time too, but Van Halen and what they did with Jump alone really propelled keyboards in rock music to a whole nother stratosphere. And Eddie deserves so much credit for that.
And a lot of people don't know, most of the Van Halen iconic riffs were written on a piano.
How did he pick it up?
Piano, like Unchained, was written on a piano. A lot of stuff.
Wow.
I
am going to brag here. I've played that piano. That 9-foot Steinway in 5150. I've played that piano. I played Right Now on that piano.
Yeah.
You bastard.
Maybe you guys don't know that. So, like, you guys all know that I went to 5150 3 years ago.
Yeah, he's
I was very, 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 very lucky to go there. I mean, my Facebook profile picture is me standing next to Eddie in front of 5150. And when I was there, we did a little video for the guitar shop that I was working at here in Tokyo. It was like 2 minutes, 8 seconds final edit. I've got a 13-minute off-cut video that no one's ever seen. I've never put it online, and I won't do it. Matt Bruck said to me, "You're the only guy ever to come here that hasn't screwed us over by playing footage that he was told not to play." And I've never done it, and I'm never going to do it to him. And I'll probably never get another gig with him, but something inside of me I don't want to do that to him, you know?
Right.
So I've never released a single frame of that stuff. I've never played it on the show, and I never will. That's not my intention. But the point is, they were so warm and welcoming with me that day. And after we finished for that 1 hour of standing out front and having a chat and getting to know one another and what have you and doing that, Eddie goes, "Have you got some time?" I'm like, "Dude, I've got the whole freaking day if you want it." And the funny thing is, I already had an interview planned later that night with Vivian Campbell. So I had Eddie in the early afternoon and Vivian Campbell that evening at the studio where they recorded the last River Dogs album. But after we finished doing that thing out front, Eddie's like, "Look, pack up your gear. Now we've finished the video and come inside. I want to show you something." And I was just like, "Okay." And I said, "Look, can I bring my camera?" And Eddie goes, "Sure, I don't mind." And Matt goes, "No." Matt Bruck being forever, protecting Eddie. He's like, "No, sorry." I'm like, "Yeah, but look, let's just keep it for the archives." And Matt's like, "No, we're just a nice little intro to you and the brand and what we're doing here. And maybe we'll do something again later." And Eddie actually said to me, and I've got this on video on that offcut. He goes, the exact quote
Don't share it.
I don't know, but I can say it out loud.
Yeah,
He said something along the lines of, "You're really wonderful, man. Matt, I would love to do a big interview with him someday."
Oh,
there we go.
Like, I was just standing there, and I was like, and I have that on. I have that documented, but of course I can't play it.
All I'm saying is, it's a good thing that Caleb's in his childhood bedroom when he's hearing this.
That room has seen this behavior before.
So exactly. So then I pack up the gear and I go inside, and Eddie's full live rig with his 3 cabinets are set up there. He's got 2 refrigerator rack size worth of gear of like his effects units and stuff, and his massive ass pedal board that he uses on stage. And for 20 minutes, that motherfucker just stood there and jammed for me, and it was fucking amazing. Wow. It was literally like seeing God.
Yeah. That's great.
It was absolutely phenomenal. And I've told this story on here before. You have never in your life had to concentrate so hard on your knees not giving out and falling out from underneath you. Because I swear to God, that is the thing I take away and remember the most, is me standing there and literally my knees were like jelly. And I'm telling myself, just don't fall down. It's going to be so embarrassing if you fall down right now and your legs actually give out. And that's a true thing. He also
I believe you. I had a similar experience on the edge of an 8th-story building.
Oh, 8 you might be all right, but it's 28, a bit of a different story, but 8, yeah. Sadly, that was a true story, folks.
Yeah.
Way to bring the show down, Hal.
No, Pilot of Queer as Folk. I had nylon rope keeping me from falling off this roof, but it was for a shoot. It was for a stunt. And one of the things, and my scene partner in that scene's knees were shaking so hard he almost pushed me off. Yeah.
Great.
So I hear it. It's weird. Your body just makes up its own rules sometimes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know.
So
I will never doubt Scooby and Shaggy again.
What an inspiration those guys are.
Yeah, totally.
Hey, Scoob.
Yeah, you do a pretty good Shaggy.
You know, I do a really good Casey Kasem, and it's just you make a left turn.
Oh, let's hear it. Because I know Casey obviously did the original voice. And Matthew Lillard does a great job of playing Shaggy.
Does he?
Oh, yeah.
This one goes out to,
I haven't done him in a long time.
to Charlie from his one-legged dad. Daddy, don't you walk so fast. It's number one with a bullet.
Sorry. I haven't done him in forever. I do more Shaggy.
I actually first discovered Casey Kasem's voice on Battle of the Planets. I used to love that show.
Mm-hmm. And it's pronounced Kasi Kasim. But yeah.
So yeah, and Eddie also played a little bit of jazz. Go on.
Yeah, do what?
Go on. Oh, I was gonna say I have a 6-year-old, and so we watch a lot of cartoons, and we rented from the library a few months ago. Was it Justice League meets Scooby Doo, and you have the Shaggy meeting Robin. It's Casey Kasem playing both
doing
parts.
both. Yeah, right.
Nice.
And he
must have felt schizophrenic for weeks.
It's like it's the same.
He must have been at home just going through like,
who am I really? Who am I? Am I me? Am I Robin? Am I Scoob? Am I Shaggy? Like,
he must have been like, I can't live with you anymore, Casey. You don't know who you are.
It was too much.
It's funny. All right.
This is a real thing. Like they've done a remake again of Scooby Doo, which is what's it called? It's called Scooby Doo and Guess Who. That's it, and it's playing these days. There was even an episode here which I'll just drag up right now quickly on the computer to show you because it's amazing how good the voice is. Matthew Lillard does the voice. If you remember him, the comedian actor from such great comedic films as I Know What You Did Last Summer. Very funny comedy film.
Yep. Yeah. He's the boy. He's him he's him live too.
Yeah. And so this is from that.
In the live action movie.
I'll let you hear. This is the voice that he does. So Weird Al Yankovic was the guest on this episode. Because I got kids too, so I know about this stuff.
You guys think you could maybe wait to practice until we actually get to the accordion camp?
Ain't no doing stuff. Scoob and I gotta hone our skills.
Fred, please drive faster.
That's pretty decent voices.
It's pretty good. It's a little higher than he used to be, but then I don't know what's happened.
Hey, we're almost there.
Maybe he's...
Oh, thank goodness.
Whoa! Hang on, gang!
Typical Hanna-Barbera sound effects. Trying to find a Weird Al Yankovic on the show.
Oh, the bite. That is the greatest chomp sound effect.
Oh yeah, the chomp. Yeah.
Trying to find a nice sample of his voice because he does the voice really well. As you can see, I was completely prepared for this.
We've got dog version.
Forget it. It's too hard to find it right now. But anyway, the point is, he does a really good job of it.
If you ask me, like, will someone be playing Scooby-Doo clips on your Nerd Halen interview? I think I would have said no, but here we are.
Anything can happen. Anything. So,
excuse me. Velma could be a groupie for this band. I'm just saying.
Oh, she would be the ultimate groupie for this band.
She went home wearing my glasses. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. Velma was definitely the hot one. Let's be real about it. You know Velma's a freak between the sheets. It's got to be.
Oh, yeah.
It's just got to be. She's got so much repression going on.
Pent up, yeah.
Now I'm going to throw
a read up on the subject.
I'm going to throw a real spanner in the works here because I've got this queued up and ready to go. I tossed up between two Van Halen albums, which are my yes albums. I love Van Halen 1 because the guitar tone on that record is just phenomenal. I love the guitar tone on the first record.
Right.
But I flipped between 5150 And I just can't help it. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this because most Van Halen fans will say no. But when this comes on for me, it's like, oh, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a sound!
Yeah.
Well,
and the voice.
Actually,
man, that song.
Well,
just
Alex has never
that
sounded better on another record. That's because they had Andy Johns, who recorded Bonham's kit.
Yeah, that drum sound was amazing.
And it's the first Van Halen record where you could hear the bass.
Yeah,
There's not enough cymbals though.
The bass carries it so heavy. I have a super nerdy fan story from that song. They came through Sweden on that tour, and it was the first time they toured Europe in 9 years.
Boy, did they!
9 years, and I was, I don't know, 10 yards back or something from the stage, and they started with that song, and it's fucking 3 people on stage, obviously playing, and there's no tracks, and the bass is those 16th notes, da 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 da, just shaking the arena. And I got this huge fucking blonde metal hair, and I'm a foot taller than anyone else, and I'm throwing my fist in the air, and Michael Anthony spots me and lets go of his bass, which is the whole song. I mean, the song is just, you know, and he lets go of his bass for a good 5 seconds. And the arena stops shaking completely. And he's just pointing at me and giving me thumbs up and like trying to talk at me or something. And then he starts playing again and the concert sort of resumed. And I thought that's the power of the bass plus the power of really a happy looking fan that the whole fucking arena just stopped shaking because he wanted to sort of recognize.
You know what Michael Anthony was saying in that moment? He was actually pointing down going, "You're the chick that I'm going to bang after this show."
Right. Like her. Get her a pass.
My metal hair back in the day had the MILFs all asking me for fucking hair care advice, and I didn't do anything. I just had a natural Jufro without being Jewish, obviously.
I had a nearly similar physical experience at when Slaughter opened for Kiss. For whatever reason, Mark Slaughter came out on stage and hit the lowest note on the keyboard. Just walked out and just went, oh, and it was so low, it didn't really even make a note. It just reverberated the entire place. Like, are you trying to cause an earthquake? Like, yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah, it was, and I was eating a pretzel. I remember this. I was like, I hadn't eaten, so I came to the show, and I'm like, I'll eat later or whatever. And I took a bite of this pretzel, and he comes out and pushes this, and I could feel that piece of food go all the way down my esophagus through my, because of the vibrations, I could literally feel like my esophagus squeezing it down to my stomach, like all the autonomic reflexes you have. I felt all of it because of that.
I like this. Ben Coombs says it's a struggle, Victor.
It is.
It's a struggle.
The struggle is real.
Yeah, but him being in Canada, he'd be surrounded by a lot of MILFs up there, I would say.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I haven't done you haven't looked at what the highest search results in any particular area is. Does anybody know what Canada's are?
Oh,
it's probably like, it's probably sex and syrup somehow.
It's quite possible.
My dog's name is Brewski or Bruce, but I also have another one called Bear. So I have 2 of them that are like bugging me right now.
Okay.
That's right. Are they Canadian?
As long as the fucking hamsters are fed, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
I've just noticed here, coming in from the same guy, I don't mean to pick on the audience, but his comment just a couple of moments up was that.
Psychic. Weird.
I don't know if there's any connection. Just, no dispersions here. Here you go. He says, also, wow. So, this is taking an interesting turn right now in the comment section of our show.
Wow.
As you do.
Our ladies are okay-ish, Amanda says. Yeah, well, she is Canadian too, and a Canadian lady herself.
Well, if you didn't like the idea, then they wouldn't technically be MILFs.
That's very true.
Yeah. What is it? It is a it is an unverifiable hypothesis or whatever. It cannot be falsified.
Something like that.
Scientifically, being arrested by the nerd police. I'm sorry.
I was just wondering where that siren was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let Dave back into the chat, and I'm going to disappear for a second because I need to take a whiz. I'll be back.
Oh, there you go. See, at least he's honest about it, you hamster bastard.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, gentlemen.
Hey, Dave.
Hey. Yeah, he is. He's off to squeeze the gerbil.
Okay.
You don't squeeze it; it'll die. You put a scarf around its little neck, and you put a tiny little amyl nitrate orange in its mouth, and then you turn on the computer last.
This one's running long. What was the longest one you've had of these, Dave? Do you know?
Are we talking about the show?
Right, or just the concepts?
So the longest show we've done was we're getting up there. We're getting up there.
I've still got to finish the rest of my stream after this. So
yeah. I don't know what you're doing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think that we did about 2 hours 40. So we've done pretty well. We're doing very well.
All right.
Cool.
Right.
I just want to say, you guys, I don't know I don't know how I ended up doing this, like hanging out with you guys like this, but it's really cool. So thanks.
Yeah, it's the original. We're getting get the original band back together. It was kind of a reunion thing. Yeah.
No, I was just like, all of a sudden I was just like popping in, and I'm like, okay, great, and I'm here. But thank you so much for the shout out earlier, guys. Thank you so much.
Oh man.
Again, have a great time. This is your show. Nama, I appreciate
Have a great time, man. Wabi-sabi. Love you, man. Wabi-sabi.
Take great care. I'll see you guys all soon. And
love you. Yes.
Be safe. Thanks.
Virtual hugs and real hugs.
Guys.
Love you,
Love you,
absolutely.
You too, Forrest.
All right, you guys.
All right, man. Talk to you soon.
I'll talk to him later.
Yeah, we'll sort him out for you later. Don't you worry.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome, mate.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm choppy. This is very choppy for some reason.
Yeah, me too. We're overloading the system.
Yeah, I think we're wearing out the Streamlabs server is having a panic attack.
It is. It's having a moment.
Once he left, it got smoother once he left. So they're definitely throttling. They're throttling your connection. Forrest was blazed too brightly. He was the Roy Batty of this whole thing.
As he does. Yeah. That guy has more energy than anyone I've ever met.
Yeah.
He's a dynamo. It's great.
I've never slept with him, but you can tell us about it later.
Okay, I walked into that one.
It's like that.
Mate, you ran into that one with a.
Oh yeah.
It's like one of my favorite lines. One of my favorite lines from. You ever see Real Men with Jim Belushi and John Ritter? It's an unknown movie. It's so great. There's a great moment in there where he comes out. He's just had Jim Belushi just had sex with this Russian agent woman, and he comes out smoking a cigarette. And John Ritter goes, "I didn't know you smoked." And he goes, "I only smoke after sex." And he goes, "Well, at least you don't do it that much." He goes, "I'm up to about a pack and a half a day." He goes, "That'll kill you." He goes, "It won't kill you, but it will make you very sore."
Things you can't unhear.
That's right. Won't kill you, but it will make you very sore. Right. I'm frozen. Am I frozen in your?
No, you're still moving, mate. Okay. You're still moving.
All right, good.
You're fast forwarding to catch up with yourself. I think.
That makes sense.
Yep.
There we go. Any final questions? Are we wrapping up?
Well, what happened? Did Forrest run?
Yeah. We traded for him for you in the draft.
We lost the drummer.
I'm sorry. You ended up with me instead.
No, it was a bandwidth issue. Don't take it personally. Did we ever get your favorite Van Halen record? I don't know that we did.
Mine?
For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge.
Yeah,
5150.
Yeah, I toss up between 5150 and For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. I really love the sound of Sammy in the band, and Dave's great. Don't get me wrong, but I love the element that Sammy brought to the band, and plus, I think same thing with Victor. It was around 5150 and Live Without a Net that I discovered the band.
Mm-hmm.
I was 13 in 1985, when that came out, and in Australia we didn't quite have the same. We didn't have the same access to Van Halen in a lot of those bands because Van Halen never toured. It happens. Van Halen never toured Australia until Gary Shrone was in the band, 1998. Right. That was their first time ever to play in Australia.
Yeah,
that is. I would say were the Australians officially? Did they consider it an act of war with the United States? What happened? How did they respond?
Well, I mean. This is a thing that a lot of people don't realise. Like Australia and New Zealand as well. I mean, New Zealand gets even less than what we did. Sorry, he's over that side. No, he's over that side now. He's over there. God, it's all been switched around now. I'm getting confused.
I'm here. We get even less than what Australia get. We're lucky to get a lot of acts come through New Zealand, and when we do, they're miles away from where I am. So it's it's even harder to try and get to these shows. It's like,
right.
Yeah. And Jeff, I was just saying while you were off milking your hamsters that we never had Van Halen play in Australia until Gary Shrone was in the band. That was the first time we ever had Van Halen.
Yeah. Which was an act of war.
Oh, he's frozen.
He's frozen. He's right.
Anyway, but like that's just one of. I mean, we never got Queensryche until 2006. We
didn't. And
David and I went together. Yeah, Dave and I went together to that gig, and it was amazing. We had a wonderful time at that. I love Queensryche.
Yeah, me too. I'm a huge Queensryche fan. Favorite, besides Operation Mindcrime, favorite Queensryche record?
Oh man, I toss up between two of them, and I usually disappoint. I'm like you. I like a lot of the stuff that a lot of people don't usually go crazy for.
Yeah.
Mine would probably be either The Promised Land, which I just adore.
Yes.
But as far as like my go-to tune for Queensryche, I'm just queuing it up now because I don't give a crap. I know I can't make money off of these shows because I play too much music on the shows.
Right.
It's just the way it is, so I just don't even care anymore. It's just I could really care about trying to monetize a little bit on YouTube or just go, fuck it, let's just have a great show and do good things.
Yeah.
Have fun.
So my other go-to is this monster right here.
Heavy thing.
Yes.
Empire is a record.
Yeah.
Empire is just such a magnificent record. The tones. Yeah, exactly, Caleb. The drums.
Yeah.
The bass sound on it.
Bass tone.
Yeah.
So this summer, Hal, because the bass tone on Empire is so epic, I was on a bill directly opening for Queensryche this past summer, and I cornered Eddie Jackson after we were both done sound checking, making him telling me exactly what basses he played on Operation Mindcrime and Empire. So that is,
and it was a piece of shit rig. It was a digi rig. It was one of the things that was new at the time, but everybody hated later because it was too digital. I forget which one. It was like a Digitech rig or something he played
Operation Mindcrime's a GK800RB with a 115 cabinet in a closet with an EV driver, and it's Kramer on the whole, a Spectre on the whole record. On Empire, he played a Spectre and a Fender Jazz.
Put your nerd glasses back on.
Yeah, right.
That's why the internet's not working, because you're out of character. See, that bass tone.
Lost your dream. Listen to that. Now you're all alone. She's been gone for a while.
I think my other go-to track off this album, and I went and saw the Queensryche a second time. It was weird. They'd never come, but yet they came in 2006 and again in 2008. And when I saw them the second time, they did their show where they were doing suites of certain records.
Yeah.
And when I was standing in the audience and this song came on, it was literally, I think I probably lost load in my pants.
Mm-hmm.
Lost one.
I got to see them do One and Only live, and it was just, whoa.
That's a rare one for them, too, because they didn't play that often.
No. And that bass tone right there.
Ridiculous.
Just even that one note was killer, and then when it kicks in, bass. Yeah, man, that whole record, and the other thing I loved about Queensryche, which they nailed better than almost any other band of the era, was their clean tones. Like, you know. That fretless bass.
Is anybody listening? Such a great, and what a great ending song for an album. You know, after you just spilled your guts lyrically through the whole record, and then the last song is anybody listening? You know.
It's just such a good record, like from start to finish.
And you know what else? Oh, and I know you hate the lyrics, but keep playing it through. Well, I don't know if you can, but as much as he's known, the way he smoothly moves into his softer tones. Long to live like when the pulse up.
Fretless bass.
Yeah. Close our eyes, baby,
I've said it many times. I've said it in interviews with people and everything, that if there was ever one band in history that I could have been the member of, it would have been when Chris DeGarmo left Queensryche. I so wanted his job.
Yeah. And I have to say, I was not a fan of who they replaced him with right away, because they picked a bluesier thing because they were following and fearing the trends of things, and instead of locking into a player that can do all of the above. There's nothing wrong with having a great blues player as long as they can also play the metal stuff like metal.
Yep.
And those dual guitar solos, which they became famous for, are so important that wrecked it for me for a little bit.
Well, the other thing that's still missing...
Rage for Order is genius. Yeah, Rage for Order. I mean...
I'm a big Rage for Order fan, too.
Yeah. London is one of my favorite songs ever.
The other thing that the band has never, ever, ever been able to replace since Chris left, and it's such an important part, is that backing vocal voice that he brought to the band.
Yeah.
And that was why I wanted the job, because I can sing all those harmonies. I mean, Dave and I, he's over there now. Dave and I actually, when we were living in Melbourne together, we did a one rehearsal. We only managed to get one out.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful that we did it. We did a Queensryche show we were going to try and do called Ozreich, and we had a drummer singer friend of mine who played in the Van Hagar tribute band with us, was doing lead vocals. Dave was doing the drums, and we had an incredible guitar player from a band called White Widow, a guy named Enzo Almanzi, who was the guitar player in the Van Halen band with me. Oh, you know White Widow, do you?
Yeah, members of them have played at the Jam.
Oh, of course. Well, Enzo was probably one of them.
Yeah.
And another mate, Cameron, who played bass with us, and we just locked ourselves in a room and we did a bunch of Queensryche tunes that day, and it was one of the most satisfying jams. The worst part about it is we never got to do it in front of an audience, but God, it was fun.
Because that was fun.
That's what the woodshed's for.
We actually jammed Della Brown that day, and I have to say, and Dave's been there on stage with me many times, and I've messed up solos on stage and what have you, but I played probably the best solo I've ever played in my life during that jam when we did Della Brown, and nobody saw it except us.
Well, yeah, that's what rehearsals for too. Is like, I'll never get it that good. There is one moment where I feel like post Chris DeGarmo where the background vocals were really solid with Queensryche, and that's when was it? Gee, it must have been when I sang Silent Lucidity with them on the radio in Seattle, because I did a fundraiser for World Vision with Whip, and Eddie played as well, and some of the members of Pearl Jam and Roger Daltrey and a couple other people just hanging around that I sang with that day. But on the radio that morning, I just got
to pick up those names. You just dropped them over there.
Yeah, please. I have a bag with all the names in it. Can you put them back in there?
Exactly.
And afterwards, I talked vocals with Jeff for a little bit, because I was just finding my voice, just figuring out how to sing without ruining myself. So that was awesome.
Yeah. And what a man to talk to about it too, because
Singer Saving Grace, that little spray bottle with the little tuxedo on it that all the Broadway people, he's always got a bottle of him with it. And he talks in like the lowest voice So you'd be completely amazed that he actually, in the school year 1986 to 87, local, state, and federal. Yeah, that voice, when you speak to him, that's what he sounds like,
The most disappointing thing. The most disappointing thing whenever I put on Operation Mindcrime is when I go to listen to my favorite song on the record. I just can't help it. It still does it for me to this day. I'm just going to grab it up and you'll get it. You'll know exactly why it's a disappointment. Hang on. I tried to type in quick enough, and I'm typing so quickly I ended up making a mistake. This one. When this song starts, I love the riff, but what I miss on the way they did the record, because of the fact that they did at the end of Breaking the Silence, they had the you did it. You did it.
Why'd you do it? Why'd you do it?
When that's missing, I'm like, I wish they had to cut the CD track so that actually was playing at the forefront of the song.
Right. I get that. I mean, it's really, that's why you got to listen to that whole thing all the way through. And for people who, if you don't know Operation Mindcrime, I don't know what you're doing with your life.
Yeah.
But talk about guitar tone and the snare that alone on Operation Mindcrime. It is, listen when it kicks in. It's like a punch in the ribs.
Here it is. That's straight up Kenny Aronoff right there.
Oh, beautiful.
And the clean sounds again.
Woke on the inside of the surveillance from the camera eye.
And that's one thing that even when they play live to this day,
you can't do that to me. You can't just start it and then
it's a visceral experience, isn't it? I use that word on the show.
He's always been a bit of a cock tease, huh?
Yeah,
that's what all the girls
say. I didn't do it.
It's amazing because, like, Caleb being a guitar player himself, he'll be able to relate to this. When they do that song, and it's such a beautiful thing with that particular tune, you've got that. Oh, sorry, I've got to go a bit more clean here. There we go. So you've got, like, it's pretty straightforward to essentially chuck the pickup selector over, but a lot of people don't do it. So we've got the whole. And that's how they do it. Just simply slide the pickup selector into another position where you got some split coils, and all of a sudden, and that's the sound.
It's also, by the way, the sound of the clean guitar sound on Wasp's "The Idol."
Oh,
which is him trying to do his Mindcrime. Like The Idol is he did two full concept albums chasing Mindcrime in a lot of ways, and I like those records a lot. So I'm a Wasp fan as well. So just The Idol alone, like that song is.
We got to do part 2 of this show. I mean,
oh man, yeah, chapter 6.
Let's talk about the clean tone on Queensryche Records.
It's about as nerdy as it gets, isn't it?
No chance for contact. There's no reason dead. My only hope is one day I'll forget the pain of knowing.
That line, by the way, no chance for contact. There's no raison d'etre. Which is raison d'etre. It's from French. He sings in French right there.
Not raison dead, which a lot of people think it is.
Yeah, right. Raison d'etre.
Sorry. I thought he said I ran out of raisinets.
Yeah, right. My only hope is one day I'll forget. I mean, those 2 lines, just gorgeous.
This says it all, doesn't it? This has turned from a Nerd Halen discussion to a bunch of fans talking about music, and I'm loving
it. We live up to our name, man.
I'm curious now.
This is all just music.
With your love of Queensryche, which it's pretty obvious here that Dave and I both get very excited whenever the Queensryche conversation comes up because we love them.
Yep.
Am I the only one here who is a fan of this particular record? Actually, I might go to the next track.
You go into American Soldier.
Oh, I love this record.
It's a fantastic. It's probably after Empire. It's the one that I would go to as my next. Operation is always got to be in there, but American Soldier. What a fantastic concept for an album.
And what beautiful songs and execution. I mean, that tone.
As it twitches, apply the tourniquet diet. Sip of life.
Raisin bread. Yeah, this album, like the choruses, the hooks in it, the rest of it,
I have a theory about some singers, especially like really high singers, and this only person it doesn't seem to apply to is Bruce Dickinson. Is every high singer does it? If they don't do a few songs per record, they have to do one solid album in their talking range, so they get a break during the set.
Yeah, that's so true. I think you're right about that, though. Bruce Dickinson.
That's what this album is. No, Bruce Dickinson does not. Bruce Dickinson, according to legend, before every show, sings the whole show all the way through while roller skating around the stadium. He works out by roller skating. He puts on roller skates and he either does it in the tunnels around the place or the actual place itself, if he can do it in one flat surface, and sings the whole. So that's his warm up.
Dweeb Right tribute.
Dweeb Right, I'm for it. Oh my God, I'm in. I'll fly to New Zealand or Australia. We'll do it.
This is one hell of a chorus when it comes to songwriting. This chorus on "If I Were King" is such a brilliant chorus. Like between the arrangements, between the vocals, between everything, the production, the whole thing. The chorus on "If I Were King." Does anybody else know this aside from Dave and Hal and myself? Do you other three guys know this album?
They won't.
No? Well, here you go. Here's an introduction for you. Listen to this chorus. Fantastic, and the ups and downs of this song.
Everybody wants to be King's X at some point in their life. Everybody wants to be King's X at some point in their life.
We've totally lost the other three guys now. They're all just sitting there going, I'm still
They don't know what the hell we're talking about.
I can't tell if they've glazed over or if it's just the lens of their glasses getting reflective. I can't tell.
Yeah, that's right. That's enough. We put Jeff to sleep, actually. Although I've done
I'm
done
a
other
Queensryche
covers
fan.
with... Yeah, I've done other covers with Jeff. So,
I'm a Queensryche fan, but that kind of lost me after Empire. I just kind of checked out.
I got to say, the new album with the new singer.
Tom De La Torre is amazing, and he's actually the new album. He's singing and playing drums on it.
He just killed it this summer at the show that I was at playing. He killed it, the new singer. It was mind-boggling. And the band I was out with, he was a fanboy. He was the nicest. He knew every song, pretty much every other band on the bill. He's a fan and has no lead singer personality, and killed it. Absolutely killed it.
Wait a minute. What's that supposed to mean?
Victor,
what's that supposed to mean?
Filled in for,
wait a minute. What's that supposed to mean?
Not everything's about you.
He was 22 minutes late at the show. I forget what.
So what was that, Caleb? You said something, Caleb? Who did Victor fill in for?
Yeah, Victor filled in for Dawkins. Dawkins.
Was that with John Levin on guitar or with Ira Black?
John Levin has played for Doc in the last 19 or 20 years.
Well, I know that Ira does fill in from time to time when John can't make it.
Yeah, John's an attorney.
Yes,
so he has a real job, and I think there might be one or a few times when the real job calls.
I'm good friends.
They would be better off.
John.
If they would be better off if Victor was filling in on vocals.
Here's the thing. That gig on bass was pretty easy, but the amount of background vocals required, because Jeff Pilson is a motherfucker. He is Michael Anthony level great singing. Right. And he's band leader for musical director for Foreigner the last 15 years. Singing Jeff Pilson's parts took me a month preparing for this summer's run with Dawkins, because it was a singing gig. And as we know, Don's voice is gone. It's an octave down. And so it was either sing the high harmony like back in the day, or on the songs where Don checked out, sing the main vocal. So it was my asshole was clenched, but it was still fun. That's what she said.
Well, of course,
you do Alone Again in my high school band. Right.
You can't forget Jeff Pilson's other amazing band, which I thought I had queued up here, but I don't. Steel Dragon.
Yes.
Oh, right.
And his new band with Matt Starr. They're on Frontiers Records, and they have a good record. I forget the name of the band, but it's great.
Stand up and shout.
Oh, man, Millie can sing. Oh my God, can that dude sing?
Yeah.
Like, incredible voice. Like, not just good. He's ridiculous. Such a good singer. We All Die Young from that film. And actually, the other song that I really love from that film that he didn't sing on is the last track, Colorful. The when Chris Cole goes Seattle.
I can't do it. I like that. First of all, that movie, like, I'm a huge Zakk Wylde fan, so I would watch it just because he's in pictures. I don't care. You know what I mean? If there's photos of Zakk Wylde in a movie, I'll watch it based on music. But the whole, like, you know those stupid like Reese Witherspoon type movies where they go, you know, the country girl moves to the big city and she gets a big job, and then she realizes what would really make her happy is to marry this dumbass with a dump truck and stay home and make babies. You know, those like ridiculously sexist, stupid, like.
But they're my favorite. They're my favorite films.
Yeah, I know. I would cry like a baby. I understand, but it was one of those movies where they're like, let's just go, you know, really, did he want all that hair metal rock stuff, or didn't he really just want to sing the song that was in his heart? Like, shut the fuck up.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Those are the songs in people's hearts. Like this whole...
that voice. And where he goes with it. Your dogs are enjoying the show, Jeff.
He's got something to say, and I can't stop him.
Love those harmonies.
Well, yeah.
Does everybody here know this song?
No. I boycott it. Hold on.
Oh, man. Because here comes a vocal performance like very few can do.
It makes my stomach turn.
Yeah. I didn't even warm up. Okay, so yeah. Can I help you?
Yeah. That's a hell of a voice.
Yeah, like I don't even have to see. I made the dog go.
Victor, the Matt Starr and Jeff Pilson, Black Swan.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Came out a few months ago on Frontier.
Yeah.
Good.
Are you in Black Swan?
No.
Jeff, I'm not.
Jeff Pilson.
No, that is Natalie Portman. I have told you a dozen times.
It's not Reese Witherspoon.
Stop making passes at our bass player.
Because I say Reb Beach is in that band, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Who's on
Goat stories.
Of course, it's Jeff Pilson. We just said that. So it's Jeff Pilson, Matt Starr, Reb Beach, and who's the other member I'm missing off the top of my head?
The singer, Robin McCauley? No,
of course. Yeah, Robin McCauley's amazing. I saw him singing with Raiding the Rock Vault. I went over to Vegas in February last year after NAMM and got to see the show. Actually, I got to meet Blas Elias and have a chat with him. I did a little interview video with him, and we talked about the Rockstar movie as well. I'm just a huge fan of that film. Love it.
Does someone have a Bantha?
Can you guys actually hear that?
Jeff, are you squeezing the Wookiee right now? What's happening?
I was going to say that.
My dogs are like over there, and they're like having a fit because I've been sitting here. So
yeah.
So is it time to call it a night?
We got. I'm going to have to do a whole separate. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to have to do a whole separate show, me and you guys, where we nerd out about the other stuff that these guys couldn't give a rat's ass about.
Yeah.
And that's another 3 hours because Caleb deserves better, and he's not just in his home bedroom, because the internet's better. He also has a curfew. So
yeah, man. Like seriously,
by the way, everybody in the chat room
forever.
is freaking out about the notes I hit. What do you think I was? Or you think I'm like, I'll joke around the notes, but I'm not joking during.
Vocals.
Yeah, on Bucky. Yeah. Fuck at the moon. like.
All right, you guys. I'm gonna take off.
Yes.
Well, we've been waiting for you to say that for the last couple of hours.
My weasels need me.
Ew.
Well, look, I would like to say thank you very much to the gentleman from Nerd Halen here. It's an absolute treat because I hope that people do, once this whole COVID thing is done with, they actually get a chance. Oh, sorry, I said the word. Oh no! Once the problem we get through, please stay indoors, be smart, don't listen to the bullshit. Stay indoors and stay safe, because the last thing you want to do is make other people have the problem.
Yes,
you'll feel bad if that happens.
Yep. And then at some point, I'm going to fly down to Australia, and we're going to do Dweeb's Reich, and we're going to Dweeb's Reich will go on tour with Nerd Halen, and at the end of the show, I'll be a dead man. And it'll be great.
Yeah, you will. I'm just imagining you lying in a pool of blood, of your own throat blood. Just
we'll have to do, and then we'll do for an encore. We'll do Nerd Heart, and I'll go.
Yeah.
Never let you go. And then I'll just fall over. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great quote. Ben Tom, look
nerd.
at that quote. Look at that quote. Coronavirus.
No. Talking over that. Yeah.
That's good.
People are enjoying the show. Well, I'm glad that the people who are still with us are enjoying this, and thank you for being a part of our episode here with Nerd Halen. It's a lot of fun talking to these guys, and I hope that, as I was about to say a moment ago, when this whole problem is over, let's hope that these guys manage to get out and play in your town. And if you're ever down in the Los Angeles area, go and check them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we plan
to be ready to go. We'll be well rested, that's for sure.
We want to.
That's right.
We want to hit all the. We want to tour. We want to do this as a a real rock band. It's not a.
World's going to need it.
It's not a joke for us. It's like it's business, and we want to bring this
comedy is no joke.
Around.
Yeah, we'll dry hump in casinos, clubs, anywhere they have it.
That's right.
Yep.
You'll be seeing Victor at the end of the night sitting there, strolled over a pokey machine, a slot machine, and he'll be like sitting there going, "Hey, Granny, you're looking good this time of night."
You're right, yeah.
There's
the nearsighted
MILFs out there for
right.
me. Yeah,
right, exactly. All right,
Go
well,
MILFs.
folks, thank you for watching our show. Thank you for being a part of this with us. We thank you very much. Now, gentlemen, let's quickly go a quick round. Let's see which song are we going to go out with. Anybody? Any particular Van Halen song we're going to take out to allow us to leave the room?
Unchained.
Yeah,
Unchained. Nice choice.
Yeah.
Since we're all chained right now.
And by the way, if you haven't already, please follow all our social media.
Definitely.
And by the way, this is my favorite song to do live with Nerd Halen.
Mine too. Mine too.
Yeah, and I'll wait. But
yeah, I'll wait's my favorite song, but this is my favorite one to do with you guys. Yeah. Period.
Yeah, it's fun. We get it going with this song. But please support the band, and we will be out there when this is all over, and we're gonna bring this to a level that no one ever thought it could be. So
agreed.
Ooh, them are fighting words.
Stay tuned.
Like no one has ever seen before.
Oh God, did you really have to bring that in?
He did. Right.
I didn't do it.
Make Van Halen great again.
Yeah.
Well, folks, thank you very much for watching. Gentlemen, don't leave just yet. I'm just going to bring up our banner here. And by the way, just in case anyone in Australia is watching and getting ready for the show we have coming up this, tomorrow, our time here. So Friday night, 8 p.m. Melbourne time, we have Boom Crash Opera coming on the show. You guys might know Boom Crash Opera. They had a song that went to number 8 in America with Onion Skin back in 89, 90. Say again?
It sounds like a sex thing again.
Yeah.
Well, that's what. Well, it's called Onion Skin, not Foreskin. Come on. So our Oz Rock Friday nights, we have Boom Crash Opera coming on with us, and as I said, it's 8 p.m. on Melbourne time, so 7:30 p.m. for South Australia and Northern Territory, 6 p.m. for Western Australia, and over in New Zealand, it's going to be
late.
10 p.m.
10 p.m. Yeah, it'll be.
This does go out worldwide, so but the problem is for the Americans, I think it's like 3 a.m. LA time where we kick off, so can't really do much with that.
Yeah, noon.
Yeah,
that's what we call noon
at this current point in life. So thank you once again, Nerd Halen. Round of applause for Nerd Halen, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Jason, David, thank you for having us. Appreciate it, man. Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so Absolutely.
All right, folks, enjoy a little bit of Unchained, and we will see you all back here on Live Streams with Famous Friends. And by the way, this is our longest show we've done, so there you go. Thanks. See you soon.
All right.
Everybody. Catch you later, folks. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Bye.